Hey, welcome to Jim Norton and Sam Roberts.
I didn't think I was going to make it on time today.
Why?
I did in plenty of time.
You did. I wasn't nervous for a second. You were here.
Because Uber's like 15-minute waits.
Because of the rain?
I'm thinking so, yeah. But I got very lucky. I just walked outside. There was a taxi waiting for me.
Oh, wow. Leave it to the yellow cabs to pick up where Uber falls off.
Yeah, I got to get Lyft, too. I want to have more than one option.
You don't have Lyft?
No, I just have Uber.
Lyft is the one with the pink mustache on the car, is that right? Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. They all have them on there?
That's like the logo, so they put it on, yeah.
Oh, okay.
The way like Uber has the U in the box.
Right.
They have a pink mustache.
Okay. Oh, all right, yeah.
Yeah, you got to do it because the more services you sign up for, the more you get the discounts for starting the service.
Yeah, I don't care about that.
You don't?
No.
Oh.
I mean, it's a discount is nice, but...
Excuse me. Oh.
I just want to get here.
Excuse me.
Yeah, I don't care.
I'd be like, what? 30% off? Yeah. Oh, if I re-sign up to Uber, there's another 30%? Yep, over there.
But I don't...
I follow the discounts as far as rides go.
Now, you can share rides for some where it's like $5 to go anywhere in the city, but you got to share a ride. But I don't want to share with people. I just don't want to get on with people I don't know.
I did that one time in L.A. by mistake. I didn't realize, it was just the default. And so I said, yeah, I'll take that. But
didn't you have to meet somewhere?
No. They come to you. But there was already somebody in the car.
Oof.
And the Uber pulls up, and there was a woman, like a young lady, in the back of the car. And I was like, uh-oh, this could get weird. She doesn't know who I am. I'm a man. I could be threatening to her. You know what happened?
She stole your money? She fucking took your wallet?
She dozed off and didn't even have her hands on her pocketbook. She couldn't have been less concerned. She just fell asleep with her purse right next to her going, yep, I'm safe in here.
Yeah, she was.
Yes, and as it turns out, she was quite safe.
But I don't like the idea that they say, okay, you got to pick a. They show you great locations to go and meet for Uber, at least, like nearby pickup location. I don't want to meet at a pickup location. Yeah, I'm lazy.
Right.
I just want to get picked. It's like a limousine. You're calling yourself a limo with Uber.
That's what you want.
I want a limo. I want a personalized limo.
But some people don't want all the money that goes into a limo. They're just as fine to go meet and...
It's not that expensive. It's about the same as a yellow cab. A little more, not much more than a cab.
Yeah.
And I love that fucking dumb Waze app they use.
Yeah, Waze is the best. Waze is for navigating.
Yes, it's very helpful.
Very helpful.
Google Map, not as good.
No, because Waze gives you all the traffic. They tell you when there's red light cams ahead. They tell you when the cops are there.
Here's the problem with Google Maps.
Tell me.
There's a fucking arrow and it points the wrong way. Like the due north arrow points and it just slides in the direction you're going, but it's still pointed north.
Uh-huh.
I hate the Google Map arrows. I can't get around that way.
If you tap the compass, can't the map shift?
I've tried it.
Doesn't work.
It doesn't work. Right, Travis?
Nope, you're wrong.
No, I'm not. It doesn't work.
Was I right?
Yeah, of course you were.
Wait a minute.
It used to not be like that. It used to just let you do whatever you want. But now, yeah, you got to tap the compass and it'll make you go straight again.
Wait, it'll go in the direction of travel?
Yeah.
I'll try it. Hold on.
It's a real stinker, that news coming from the TEF box. You really thought you were going to get some support in there today.
I would rather have Travis give me the bad news that I'm wrong and that this is going to work properly.
These new apps are tough to figure out.
He's being condescending,
Waze.
Jim.
I understood. Waze is new.
Yes, if it was 5 years ago, sure.
Yeah, this is the same guy who came in just a moment ago and said, oh, what's going on? He looked down at his sheets and he goes, I need my glasses.
I do, yes. My glasses are in need. My eyesight's not as good as it used to be.
Yeah, I guess that gets a little rough when you come into the show and you're
Unfortunately, my hearing is perfect.
You start by saying, I need my glasses, and then you decide to start the show with app talk.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not going to be.
Well, I was just happy that my Uber
got you here on time.
No, it didn't. It didn't come. I just went out and got a yellow cab.
You know what?
It was a story of inspiration. For people out there, it's about options.
And it reminds you that just because something is newer doesn't mean it's better.
It's like this.
Yes,
like, say your loved one has cancer.
Right.
You can say, wow, they might not live. But then you realize there are other options, and that's how I felt this morning. My Uber's going to be late. I'm going to be late for work. I went out and got a text.
So you think that the emotions that course through you, worrying that you're going to be late to start the show, are similar to if a relative had cancer?
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. I like your level of commitment.
Or it's just a lack of caring about my relatives. It's probably a better way to say it.
That probably is it. Well, I'm glad you got here.
I'm gonna check right now.
But even if you get the Google Map working, you still should use Waze. You got to use Waze.
I don't know why I didn't like Waze. I tried it for some reason. It annoyed me.
I mean, it does give you a lot of alerts. It tells you everything that's going on, and it's very cute. There's a lot of cute cartoon characters. Everything's represented by what looks like a child's coloring book.
Oh. I don't like that.
Like the road signs are very animated. There's cartoon police that show up. Everything is big and rounded, and the colors are bright.
I'm hitting the fucking arrow, Travis. Look. It's pointed north, and then the direction it wants me to walk is pointed. I did it in the direction of 42nd Street, and it's like it's pointed left, but the arrow is pointed north.
Are you on the road in the app?
No, I'm in the seat looking at you.
No.
That's a good point,
Right
actually,
here.
Travis. That was a dumb question.
You're right.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm trying to help.
But, see,
Yeah, I see, but you've got to turn onto that road first, and then it'll go straight.
but it won't go straight.
Because you're not on the road yet.
Okay.
You are not. He's right about that.
You're right, I'm on the road.
See, what's the arrow is pointing to the road because that's where you should
Still
go.
thinks you're in a building.
Right, which is
is
accurate. Yeah.
But it still should be pointing the direction I am.
Yeah, and you probably are.
Oh, I'm not on the road yet. Okay.
Right. It's pointing to the road. Like if you walk straight, you'll be on the road.
I'll give it a try later. I'll try tapping. I hope you're right.
I hope I'm wrong and it just drives you crazy.
I'll
all day.
promptly admit that I'm wrong.
Just do Waze.
I don't even know if I have Waze.
Why not? You just said you like it.
No, I didn't say I like it. I like when the Uber drivers have it.
So you wouldn't sit there and be like, oh, that thing that they have is great for them. It's actually accessible. It's like being at a restaurant and you're like, oh, I like this cutlery.
Yeah, maybe I'll go get it myself in the kitchen like the waiter. No.
No, they go, well, it's for sale. You can have it for your house. And you're like, oh my God.
I've never heard that before.
Never?
No. All the places I eat, it's just plastic knives and forks. They give them to you. You can just take them home.
Take as many as you want,
Take
right?
as much as you want.
Ketchup packets, whatever you need. Let's go to
I love how Voss, by the way, will only eat ketchup packets.
Oh, yeah, I
He's
love that.
germaphobe.
And that changed my perspective on it, too.
Honestly, mine a little bit, too. Like,
The squeeze bottles are fine because Voss's theory, and I think he's right, is that you can't eat ketchup out of the glass bottles because when people try to get ketchup out of the glass bottle, they use their knife, they stick it in the ketchup to kind of loosen it up. But the knife they've already used it on their food, so it's got all their germs on it.
That I never thought of.
That's why he doesn't use the glass bottles.
Oh.
Yeah. And that to me made sense.
My friend Dean, when I was a kid, I remember we were out in a restaurant. I remember.
Dean never was good with public sharing.
No, he was
things.
not. And I remember we ate in a Woolworths one time, and he took the ketchup bottle and he licked around the top. He licked the outside ridge of the ketchup bottle.
That is so antisocial.
Right now, I'm 48. I was probably 13 when that happened. It's 35 years ago.
Yeah.
And I remember it as vividly as I remember walking out my door. That's how traumatic that was.
It's disgusting.
It was terrible.
Being a teenager is so much fun.
It was. Yeah.
Just do that shit and you don't think twice.
Yeah. He's a weird guy.
Everybody's got their hands all over it. You mean the part where people are unscrewing with their hand, right?
Yeah, like, but the actual, like, the top of the bottle, like, where the cap will go onto. The caked ketchup that's on the outside.
It's been there for years because they replaced the ketchup in the bottle, but they're not cleaning off this.
No.
the caked on part.
He licked it.
Oh, there's probably ants and
That's
shit that go on it.
It was terrible.
And then anybody else that opens that bottle has Dean's germs on their hands.
That was the worst part.
Ugh.
Yeah, it was really bad news.
Did you guys used to lick public payphones or something?
No, that was when with another friend of mine who shot himself. But this is before he
Thank
shot
God.
himself. We wound up. We spit all over. Oh no! Wait! It was him. We spit all over the payphone. We spit all over the payphone, like literally hocked all over it, and then just waited and stood and watched. And this older black guy came over.
Which part of the payphone?
The ear part.
Oh.
And this black guy came over to make a call, and I'll never forget. He put it against his ear, and he pulled the phone away like, "What the fuck?" And he knew it was us because we were just the two teenagers, or like 10-year-olds sitting there giggling. I remember he was going to kick our ass or kick my friend. I think I blamed my friend. I don't remember, but I guess he knew we were young, so he didn't. But he yelled at us.
Just a bunch of fucking miscreants in the neighborhood.
Yeah, I'll never forget him pulling the phone away from his head with our spit all over
So
it.
fucking gross.
Yeah, it was icky.
Did you think it was funny at the time?
I still think it's funny.
You do?
Yeah, that was even longer ago, and I still find that amusing.
When you think about it, you chuckle?
It's one of my greatest memories. His fucking, his spoiled phone, him pulling his hanky out, wiping his ear off.
Isn't that feeling amazing when you do something that's that awful? And when you're like, actually, like when you're spitting on the phone, you're like, can you imagine if what is going on in my head works? And then you go back and you sit there watching, and the guy goes for his phone, and you're like, oh my God, the worst case scenario for him and best case scenario for us is actually about to happen.
It's happening.
It's so exciting.
I remember you used to throw snowballs at cars when you were a kid?
Yeah,
like,
sure.
Like ice balls. And me and my friend Marvin were doing it. And Marvin's house was on like this Livingston Avenue, which had like 2 lanes of traffic in each way.
Sure.
So we'd stand between his house and the other house and whiz snowballs. And the scariest moments when you hit the thud of a car and then the glow of the brake lights. Because you knew the guy was stopping. He's backing up. He's backing up. That was the rally call to get the fuck out of there.
You'd have to go hide. Because you're on opposite sides, so you'd have to separate.
No, we were together.
Oh, okay.
And then we ran into his shed, which was right behind his house, and hid.
And blow each other?
No, Marvin I never blew. He wasn't having it. So the guy came up, and he fucking not only walked into the backyard. I remember me and Marvin were hiding in the shed, and the guy came into the shed. It was like
no fuck. He got out of his car, saw you run,
came up, and he opened the shed, and he walked into the shed. And it was like a horror movie. It was pitch black. It was silent.
And you had to
we
not
heard
breathe.
The door not breathing, and the guy walked in, and I guess he realized it was a pretty big, dark. It was like almost like a garage more than a shed, and he backed out and he left. I guess he got nervous being in there by himself, but it was scary.
Oh my God!
It was a very scary moment.
Did it make you stop doing it?
No. I remember we used to put snow shovels. We used to put a shovel in the street and then cover it with snow, hoping your car would run over the shovel.
One of my favorite parts of those old CKY videos that were like the precursor to Jackass is they did this thing kicking footballs into cars, and if Adrian Google, it's on YouTube, and they would just wait for a car to drive by on a residential street, and then they would kick the football and hit the car.
That's very funny. But the guy has to see you doing it.
Yeah, and a lot of times they would stop and get very upset.
Those CKY videos were so
They're the best.
fucking good. When I was in college, it was everything. There he goes.
Yes, go up there.
Did it break anything?
They're acting like it was an accident.
It was an accident. What else do you want us to say?
How about an apology?
I just heard this guy say sorry like 60 fucking times.
Who's filming them?
Their friend.
The guy must know they've been.
Brand new car.
It's a 96.
Fuck you guys.
It's a 96, he said.
That's my favorite line.
It's a 96. Oh, here we go. There's another one. It's just... It's just so funny. The sound is so fucking funny.
There's nothing better than hitting a car with something.
I'm sorry.
Can't you see fucking cars drive up and down the fucking street?
He's got ADD. Don't even listen to him. I couldn't see. There was cars there.
This is, by the way, CKY.
Sounds Philly.
Yeah, CKY is everything.
Pennsylvania,
It's all fucking white trash kids from Pennsylvania who are just bored. Like, for some reason, outside when you get outside of Philly, Pennsylvania creates some of the most antisocial people that you'll ever meet. And I don't know if it's just because there's a lot of outdoor area and kids get bored and they just, decide to cause
creative.
and cause chaos. I mean, I don't understand where the ideas come from. One of the scenes in the CKY videos, you remember when they would take a bunch of laxatives
Oh my God.
and then they would get in the car and drive, and one guy would stick his ass out the window and shit out the window of the car while they were driving just to see it.
That's awesome.
Those first two videos on VHS.
Yeah.
I must have watched 1,000 times.
Yeah.
Shitting while running.
Yeah, he's just shitting while he's running. It's so fucking gross. And then They've never seen anything so funny in their lives. You like that, Jim?
Yeah, it is funny.
You have this look of glee on your face.
It's funny. It's definitely funny.
You never saw the CKYs?
I haven't, no.
Were you a Jackass fan when it was on MTV?
I would watch it if it was on. I mean, I wouldn't say I was a fan, but it was always funny.
They're still funny.
Jackass made me laugh. The movie made me laugh hard. Oh, that's gross, yeah.
Even the late movies, like even Jackass, the one that they put out like most recently, even that one's funny. Like Johnny Knoxville is still getting hit in the balls by like fucking bulls.
Long after he has to.
Yeah, way long after he has to. They're all celebrities.
I remember one time, one more story.
Yeah, please,
I remember
please.
I was at my parents' house, and I remember I was alone, and I remember I had batteries, and I was lifting my screen, and I had batteries, and I was just fucking whizzing batteries out my car window at night, hitting cars, and then I would close my window real quick and peek at the car. I was just hitting cars with batteries.
Moving cars or parked cars?
Moving.
So you'd just be sitting there.
I was 15 when I was doing that, or 16. I wasn't a kid.
You knew completely better.
100%, yeah.
Were you drinking by then?
Yeah.
So you'd get drunk and throw batteries at cars?
Yeah, I was alone in my room. No friends.
Just thinking I'm angry at the world.
I was just a creep.
You just thought that was fun for you.
Yeah.
Wow.
Felt
You
good.
do it by yourself?
You know what? It's weird. It's like I was alone. You want to hear a thud of something.
Yeah.
It's almost like you want to hear that fucking thing hit the metal. You feel like you're getting something, you're accomplishing something.
That's little Jimmy knowing he's made an impact on the world.
That's exactly what it is. It's like,
That's
in a
your
way,
dent in that car.
that's how I know I would have been a cocksucker on social media.
Yeah.
Like, because
Oh, yeah.
I would have been awful. Like, because I didn't have social media, so I threw batteries at cars.
Wouldn't that have been great if you never got famous and just kept drinking and you were just one of those fucking trolls
I
that
would
got
be.
drunk and tweeted celebrities?
I would have been.
You're not that fucking funny because you always wanted to be a comic. You'd be tweeting like Louis C.K. and Amy Schumer and all those people be like, you guys aren't even funny.
Yeah, read my script.
You'd like curse them and curse them and curse them. And then the last tweet would be like, I hope you know I'm just busting balls. I got a script I'd love for you to
Yeah,
read.
just busting your chops. Yeah, I would. But as a teenager, I would have been awful on social media. I think we talked about that.
Yeah.
but I would have been really bad.
Sam and I are lucky that we were just getting too old for that. Like when AOL Instant Messenger and stuff was going on, like we were in like late high school, early college.
Right.
Because if we were younger, we just would have been awful.
Yeah.
Terrible. Yeah. Social media didn't start. Facebook didn't launch until we were well in college. So like there was no social media, MySpace, the whole thing. But yeah, if there had been that, if you could communicate directly with people that easily, I would have been a terror.
Do you spend I don't spend time on the phone anymore. Like I talk to Jonathan almost every day. He's one of 2 or 3 people that I like. Usually it's text messaging, but I don't communicate as much as I was on the phone last night on FaceTime for about an hour and a half. I never use FaceTime.
Yeah,
I haven't had a chat like that in probably a year.
I don't use FaceTime at all. I don't like it.
Why don't you like it?
I just think I don't need a video camera on me. I don't like it. It's too close. I don't need people knowing what's going on in my house. You know what I mean?
Why you have to do other things when you talk? I had to piss, and normally if I'm pissing, I've taken shits on the phone where you're talking on the phone and you just hit the mute button. That's a great trick. Like when you start shitting, just hit mute so they don't hear the fucking carnage.
But it's not a great trick. You know why?
Why?
Because I've been on the phone with people who I know are going to the bathroom because all of a sudden their voice starts to echo.
No. Oh yeah, that's
Because
true.
it echoes off the walls of the bathroom, and you're like, oh shit.
Yeah, but they don't hear the grunt or the shitting. No, I mute it.
You do?
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing about cell phones. You couldn't have that with the old days, even though your phone wouldn't reach the toilet because it had a cord.
So you'll hit mute and just go, ugh.
No, I'll just fire it out. I shit quietly, but it's loud when it hits.
There's a lot of volume.
There's a lot of volume.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. It sounds like a battery hitting a car.
It does.
Yeah. No, I as far as talking on the phone goes, it's a very small number of people. Like there's a few people. Like I'll call Jess. I have like maybe 2 friends that I'll talk to on the phone. I talk to you on the phone every now and then.
Yeah.
But other than that, but when I talk to you on the phone, it's just because we're talking about doing something and it's quicker than texting.
Yeah, it's a work thing. Or Bobby Kelly, I'll call back because Bobby's more of a phone guy than a text guy.
He doesn't like to text. He likes to call.
Yeah.
But I don't like to call.
I miss calls all the time.
Yeah, me too.
Fuck the iPhone, by the way, for not being available.
What are you talking about?
My phone's going crazy now. It's all fucked up.
It's going fucking cuckoo over
It
here.
is.
I don't know what's wrong with my telephone.
It's going wonky. No, it's starting to freak out. Like the screen is blinking. I know it's ready to drop dead.
And you're still going to get another iPhone.
Well, this one's been dropped. I've had this one for a while. I mean, it's fun.
Yeah, but you're just sitting there complaining about the way they do it.
The way they do it. Yeah, but I actually like the phone.
No, and you can't get them.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I'm an Apple fanboy.
Let's
You know, they stink now.
Let's go to Terry in Chicago. Terry, welcome to Jim Norton and Sam Roberts.
Yo, Sammy, Jimmy, what's going on, man?
Hello.
What's up, Terry?
Hey, I was giving a call because
Wait, what's your name?
I'm Terry.
I've never heard that name on a man before, but I'm sure it's all right.
Yeah, it's a horror name. So, I was when he was talking about the story about throwing things at cars when we were kids, we used to do that same shit. But then these assholes got really creative in the wintertime, and they would put hard-boiled eggs inside of snowballs. How I learned that this was the new protocol for winter fun was I came out of my door. I lived in an apartment, and there was a bunch of dudes outside, and they all claimed to be my friends, but they really fucking hated me.
Yeah.
And so I came outside, and snowball. As soon as I opened the door and walked out, snowball directly in the eye. And it was the worst, most excruciating pain I ever felt in my life.
So it was just a hard-boiled egg caked in snow,
That's
and it
pretty
hit you in the eye.
A very thin wafer-like coating of snow.
Wow.
Hard-boiled egg. It destroyed my eyeball, and my mom made me go to school with the fucking eye. Yeah, those kids were fucking terrible. We were horrible, man.
Did you grow up in Chicago or outside of Chicago?
No, I grew up in Chicago. I grew up in Inglewood.
That's the nicest thing you can get hit in the head with in Chicago. A fucking snowball with an egg in it.
But it's amazing. Like, you want to think that this type of chaos happens in the suburbs because kids are bored, but you can be in Chicago, like in a giant city like Chicago where there's a million things to do, and there's still, like, the most fun thing I could think of was find gay Terry and hit him in the face with, with a fucking hard-boiled egg.
There's got to be more to do in Chicagoland.
And the good thing about it is that you look down after the tears get this streaming out of your face, and you've got a little English breakfast on the ground for you.
I remember hitting a kid with a snowball. My friend, this kid Doug, who I knew from school, he was a buddy, but he was a year younger than me, and he was throwing snowballs at me. So I threw an ice ball, and I hit him in the ear or the mouth, but he was bleeding. And he had an older brother, Danny, who came after me. It was very frightening.
Was Danny mad at you?
Yeah, I think I made the kid's ear bleed. He's now he's a giant fucking. Oh no, it's a different kid. He's not a giant fireman. I don't know what he's doing with his life. He might be dead. But I hit him in the ear with an ice ball.
Did you get your ass kicked, or did you avoid Danny?
I think I begged. I was a beggar.
I didn't know it was ice.
You threw it at me first.
A pussy.
There was this chick in my
Danny was
neighborhood. I did something like that too. This chick in my neighborhood, her name was April, and I really liked her a lot. And I
What was her name? April.
She was a fool. I have no idea why I thought it was a good idea to throw rocks at her to show my love. And so I threw a rock at her, and it hit her directly in the center of the forehead. And her brother and her sister were not happy. I remember her sister was chasing me down the street, and all I could think of when she was chasing after me was just looking at her huge tits bouncing as she was fucking chasing me down the street. It was terrifying, but it was also erotic at the same time.
Because you're a kid, and all you have no idea how to get positive attention, but negative attention is easy to learn.
Sure.
So the girl won't talk to you, but what you could do is throw a fucking rock at her forehead, and then she'll know that you're alive.
Well, here's the question: did it work?
Absolutely not. They chased me every day for months.
Oh, okay. She never went out with you?
Yeah.
It would be funny if that was the way to get a girl to like you. You had to throw a rock at her forehead.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's Sharia law.
Who knew I was Muslim?
Yeah. Thank you, Terry.
Bye,
All
Terry.
right, man. Later.
I'll talk to you later. Let's go to, of course, Bruce in Pennsylvania. What's up, Bruce?
Hey, good morning, fellas. Great show.
Thanks.
By the way, this is the time I grew up about 5 miles from Ron Bennington, same basic neighborhood. And instead of hard-boiled eggs, we would put rocks in our into snowballs and throw them at a bus. There was a bus that came by there, and one day a snowball with a rock went right through the damn window, and the bus driver slammed on. You said the brake lights.
Yeah.
He slammed on the brakes. That bus left like 4 old ladies on there and came running after us. It was absolutely fantastic. But who gets the idea to put a rock and a snowball.
It's a common suburban thing, believe it or not, because a snowball, instinctively as a boy, you just realize this has the potential to do so much more damage.
Yeah. They're like, because you want result, and you're like, even if you don't want to hurt somebody, like you want to get somebody pissed off, you want to do something that is going to cause a reaction. So you throw a snowball and it just splatters, and you're like, oh, that was fun. And you're like, wait, but if I throw this fucking rock, it'll make a dent, it might break a window. Somebody's gonna get really mad.
What was better than the brake lights were scary, but I remember me and Dean would throw
How about
snowball.
a black bus driver coming running after you?
Yeah.
After you crashed his window. You little old white boys.
We used to throw them at a school bus, and the school bus would go by, and we would pelt it. And I guess it got so
With
bad.
snowball rocks?
No, I remember just snowballs, but really pelted. And they set us up one time where we pelted the school bus, and it stopped, and one of the teachers got off, Mr. Johnson, and he chased Dean. So I think that we had been hitting them so bad every day that they I don't know how he got on. Maybe he just lived there and took the bus one day to see if he could catch the kids who were doing it. But
it always seemed like you used to skirt responsibility. You always get Dean in trouble or whoever was
Dean
around.
was worse. Yeah, Dean was crazier. But I mean, I remember they set us up. It is frightening.
In springtime, we had a tree in the neighborhood where you could pull a branch down and basically use it like a slingshot. It was like a fork, and it was a big branch. So in the springtime, what we'd do, if a car come down the street, we'd pull that branch back, put a big old log on it, and throw it up in the air, and hope you hit a car. Timing was crucial. We only hit maybe one or two cars, but damn, we were hanging around that tree every day.
It's weird how when you're young, you don't care about what happens. Like when people throw shopping carts off of bridges, I never did anything that crazy, but
No, me either.
I would have. Like I remember when I was 12 or 13, I absolutely would have done that.
Right, because you think to yourself, like, you know the potential for what could happen, but so little has happened to you in your life that nothing cool ever happens because you've only been alive for 12 years. So nothing cool has happened yet. So you're like, no, nothing. So you just want to see this thing. You always get warned about stuff. And you want to see, is this really going to happen? Like, am I going to cause this terrible thing?
You don't think beyond the explosion of the windshield.
Right.
Or whatever. You think like that. But again, I never did anything that crazy.
Similar to that, there's another CKY video.
Thank you, buddy.
Called The Dummy Tosses, where they would throw dummies off a bridge onto cars that were driving.
By the way,
right here, look at this.
These guys are like...
That's crazy.
These guys are probably 20 when they're doing it, right? 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.
Like, you know how terrifying that is for a person?
Yeah, they think they just killed somebody.
And you know how hilarious it is for me?
Dummy toss.
But you know what's the true showing of all this? That, like, when you're a kid and it happens, they try to convince you of how serious it is and how terrible it is and how you shouldn't do that. I'm 33. Jim Norton is a man in his 40s. Travis is also in his 30s, and we're sitting around. Jim is a professional comedian. And all we're doing is sitting around talking about how these were the funniest things that ever happened.
They are funny, man.
They never stop being funny.
No.
Never.
There's certain destructive things that just make you really laugh.
Yeah. It's always great. Alex in Minnesota.
How's it going, guys?
What's up, buddy?
Alex.
Back in the day, like 5 years ago, I was about 16 or 17. We used to go into town at like McDonald's, and we used to have change afterwards. And on our way home, see an oncoming car, and we used to chuck the change out the window, try and hit their windshield.
Would you ever hit anyone?
Yes. The one time we did do it, look in the rearview mirror, and oh shit, tail brakes, and then we hauled ass out of there.
That's funny.
You know, a guy I know who's a comedian, and this is like in my adult life, obviously. He told me that what he would do is if guys would cut him off, he had ball bearings he would carry in his car. And he said he would then just drive in front of him and open his window, and like he hit a handful of ball bearings, and he would slowly drop them out the window, and they would fucking bounce up and hit the windshield of the car. Like, Jesus,
really
dude.
Fucking asshole.
That's really dangerous. Fucking ball bearings. Yeah, he was really proud of himself.
Let's go to Reed in South Carolina. What's up, Reed?
Hey guys, how are y'all doing?
Hey.
Good.
Back in 2001, 2002, when there was still a payphone outside of every sorry, I got it beep going in. Every grocery store.
When there was still a
we
what?
used to get
A
when there was
payphone?
a payphone outside of every grocery store. We get a Snickers bar and get it nice and warm on the defrost of our car, and then go to the payphone and rub it on the earpiece.
Which, by the way, if you're getting it nice and warm on the default of your car, you're old enough to have a defrost of your car. You're old enough to drive and have a car.
Yeah.
18, 19 years old, but we had cell phones. So we get the number of the payphone and have the lag timed perfectly with someone coming out, call the payphone, and for some reason people want to answer to a random call. Stick the phone to their ear and then realize it's foreign substance. It's a brown goo.
Oh,
They don't know.
genius.
For the first, obviously they'll figure out it's chocolate, but the first they think it's shit. They don't know what
Oh,
it
it's
is.
genius.
Exactly.
How
Yeah.
antisocial is it?
On Saturday
That's
from
a
one grocery store to the other doing it.
That's very funny.
It's so, especially because you figured out the last element of it. Like a lot of people would probably rub the Snickers and stuff on it and just wait for somebody to pick it up because they have to make a call. The idea that you would get the number, dial it, and wait for somebody to answer it. They're trying to do a good deed, probably. They think somebody needs help. I better answer this phone. Oh, there's Snickers in my ear.
I would have put probably real shit there.
You probably would have.
Yeah, we used to put shit in the library book slot.
Where'd you get the shit from?
We would get dog shit, and then we would go to the library book drop and drop dog shit. Down the library book drop.
Why would you do that?
Because it's funny.
There's some like sweet librarian
I know, so many books ruined.
that has to collect the books.
Yes, there
There's
were.
shit. So you'd go out and find dog shit on the
Oh
ground?
yeah, we'd find a fucking dog shit and then go just. We'd be like, what do you want to do? Let's go drop some shit in the book slot.
What would you pick up the shit
A
with?
stick. We do it on a stick
So you get
Old librarian just taking the books out of the books.
because it opened up into the library. Yeah,
Right.
and it was so great.
They're just around. They haven't opened up the book drop yet, and the old librarians are around going, "What's that smell? What's that smell? Is it coming from the? Is that coming from the book drop? Oh, these goddamn kids again!
Somebody had to clean that and then clean the slide thing.
Oh, you're right because it would just track down the whole thing.
Yeah,
How destructive!
the books that were in it.
There's another CKY video.
It's a government-funded thing.
You remember the shit dollar? They
no.
would take a 20, put shit all over it, and drop it by an ATM, and just wait for people to pick it up, and then realize that there's shit all over their hands.
Those CKY kids would just play with their shit all the time.
How is there not more views than this?
100,000?
There's probably so many copies.
Oh,
of it.
yeah. Okay.
I mean, because the CKY videos, like they went around. It was almost like the next. It was the last generation of what the Faces of Death videos were. Like they went around on VHS, and there were
Oh, that's hilarious.
Go talk to him. Go get a release form.
Go get a release. Cause,
Oh, they had to get releases?
yeah,
Well,
because
it was a part of a skating magazine.
right.
So these were like, they were selling them. So
Yeah,
knew
they
what
would
had
sell
to
them
do.
as commercial videos, and it would be like, because back then kids would make skate videos. and
How would
just-
they get releases, though?
Just like the Impractical Jokers would get released.
But how would a
that's,
guy-
That's why the majority of these people have their faces blurred out, because these dumbass kids just wouldn't get the release form signed.
Yeah. I don't know how that shit gets done. Let's go to one of my favorite interns of all time, Bobby the Champ, is on the phone. What's up,
Do I
Bobby?
know Bobby the Chimp?
He was, he was with you guys, and then he was with Ron and Fez, but he brought No Homo to the show.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And
Hi.
Jay Moore got naked and crawled on him one time.
Hello, Bobby.
Hey guys, great show. When you and Travis were talking about social media and chat rooms, it brought me back. So I was the perfect age to be a creep, and me and my friends, we created this screen name called Hey Yo, It's Me, and we'd play a game called Guess Who This Is. So we'd go into chat rooms, mine people's profiles for all the information they give us, say, hey, guess who, and then let them believe whoever they wanted it to be. We used to get people into so much trouble, like all over the place. Like we would I am a girl. She would think it's somebody else, and then, like, her boyfriend was like, I'm going to kill you, and then we would do stuff like that. And then even worse, this is so antisocial. We would get people in the area, and you know, obviously when you're chatting with someone, they want it to be a person. They're going to guess, and you're going to say yeah, and they're going to want it to be that person. And then we would say, hey, let's meet at the mall, and then go and tell them this person's not coming.
So you'd meet them at the mall and then tell them the person's not coming?
Yeah, we would say, hey, meet at this place at this time, and then you'd see someone there, like, looking around. We'd give it like 10, 15 minutes, so they're really distressed, and then we would say, hey, are you looking for so-and-so? And she would say, yeah, well, he's not coming. This was just something that we did. Jesus, it sounds so terrible when I tell you.
It's horrible, because you wanted that outcome. You wanted to see their face when they found out that they were being stood up.
But was there ever like relief on their face, or no? Like, wouldn't telling them kind of give them relief?
No, because they basically, you would, like I said, they would want it to be a certain person, like someone they liked, or, you know, keep in mind we're, 13 years old.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
And then it's like, oh, this guy that I like wants to meet me at, at a place, and then he wasn't coming. This was a total, and then they feel totally just, they felt like they were taken advantage of because they wanted to be a certain person.
It's so funny what happened, and I think I've been more adults who would do shit like this. But we don't have free time. Like, you have to go to work, you have to do shit.
Yeah.
Like, kids, like, they have so much free time that this is what they spend their days doing. Just like, because Bobby's thing is so elaborate that you would have to start online, then go to a physical location, then find them, then stalk them for a while, then let them know that it wasn't going to happen.
And the AOL profiles, I remember going through the little profile thing when I first got on Opie and Anthony, like 2000.
Yeah.
And like I first started, so I would go and look for girls who had Opie and Anthony in.
You
so I could try to talk to girls, yeah.
Female Opie and Anthony?
No, there weren't as many.
There weren't?
13 in the New York area.
You went through them all pretty quick?
Yeah, it wasn't a lot. And most of them wouldn't want to talk to me anyway. Who?
Oh, Bobby, that's good.
Thanks, guys.
All right, buddy, I'll talk to you later.
That's amazing. That's the balls to go to the place. And actually, I one time told this girl Jody that I was this kid Mark because I knew she liked him. I'm like, yeah, it's me. I was so horny. I was drunk, and then she showed up and she's like, "What are you doing here?" I'm like, "Oh, it was me." She was so disappointed and creeped out.
She was?
Yes. She left.
Oh, it was me.
Yeah.
Did you think, like, in your drunken, horny state, that she'd be like, "Oh, well, I really liked who I was talking to, so
yeah.
So I guess I'll go with you then."
Yeah.
And she didn't, did she?
No, it was at night, and then she just went home. She's like, "I'm going to go," and she went home. I creeped her out completely.
Shane in Indiana, welcome to Jim Norton and Sam Roberts.
Happy early Thanksgiving, boys.
Hello. Oh, and early Tefsgiving to you, too.
That's right.
Very exciting.
Hey, this is bringing back such memories. What me and my friends used to do is we would grab our paintball guns, and half of us would walk with traffic. And when the car would get close, we would turn around and light up their windshield. But the other half would be standing in the tree line, and if the people stopped and got out, then they would just light them up from the fucking side, and it was hilarious.
This is like a fully
assault.
Organized attack.
That's criminal assault.
Yeah, it's a terrorist activity.
Yeah, we never had paintball guns, although I can definitely understand the attraction of that. That would be fun when you were a kid.
They do real damage, though.
Yeah, I mean, but again, that wouldn't have mattered. Consequences didn't mean anything when you were that young.
No. Yeah, Shane, you would be brought up on charges today for that.
Oh, no doubt. If they ever found out half the things I did as a kid, like I used to work at a pizza joint, and my ex-girlfriend's father came in and ordered pizza. My boy bet me $20 I wouldn't go wipe my ass and dab the crust. Swear to God, I did.
You wiped your ass on the crust?
Yeah, I went to the bathroom and wiped my ass and brought the toilet paper out and dabbed it on the crust and put the sauce on it.
You think that's funny?
Every time that's funny.
Because somebody had crack juice pizza?
It's terrible and antisocial, but anytime someone does something with their asshole and food...
Yeah.
It's funny in hindsight. Like, I couldn't watch it happen. But
hindsight, is that a pun?
No, but it's cute.
Thank you.
I should have winked when I said that. But in hindsight,
$20 I ever made.
Thank you, Shane.
Well done, Shane.
It's awful. Oh, this is bad, too. Eric in Atlanta.
Hey, fellas, how's it going?
Eric.
Good.
All right. One time I was in high school, we were cleaning out this house, and we found a gallon of like old roofing nails, and we dump them in the middle of the boulevard in our city, and we wait down the street in the parking lot. And when the cars would drive through them, it sounded like tap shoes coming down the road.
You would put the roofing nail so it would puncture all the tires.
Well, it wouldn't puncture, have a blowout, but it'd be enough to have to go get it patched. I guess it's not really a prank.
No, it's really fucking annoying.
I remember us pulling a small tree onto the train tracks.
What? By the way, before you get into that, Adrian's still putting up videos of other people that have done the poop dollar trick. And this guy having to put water all over his hands because he had shit all over him. But go on. So
I just vaguely remember pulling a small tree, like almost like a discarded Christmas tree, that size, not massive, and pulling it on the train tracks. But we didn't stick around. Obviously nothing happened. It probably just got knocked off the fucking...
Probably.
Yeah, I mean, the train didn't derail.
Like the Stand By Me kids would just be like, oh, when we were kids, we used to put pennies on the train tracks so we could see them get flattened. And you're like, when I was a kid, I used to pull trees onto the train tracks.
I think I remember doing that and then leaving. We just nothing obviously came of it. But
you're not quite there, but you were very close to Macaulay Culkin in The Good Son.
I didn't see The Good Son.
Yeah.
I know Uncle Paul grieved. Oh, no, wait, which one he died in?
That was My Girl.
My Girl.
Uncle Paul didn't like that?
No, I remember he cried. But it was, you don't think of the consequences, or like people that are going to get hurt, or throwing shit at cars, that someone's going to fucking veer into a pole and kill themselves.
No, it's just...
Even when you're like 13 and 14, you don't think of that shit.
Right. It's just funny.
I get how people shoot each other when they're fucking 12. Like, kids with guns are scary to me because they don't have any idea of consequences.
Right.
And I get it, because I was a little hunk of shit.
Right. Yeah, they don't realize that they're going to get as much trouble as they're going to get into, and they have no sort of thought of somebody else's life. Like, it doesn't matter to them.
It's meaningless. The finality of death, it's the effect is all that matters. You don't think beyond that great effect of the moment.
It's crazy how we're born, we're organically set up to be selfish. Like, we're born in sort of just selfish, egotistical, our world, right? Closed off to everything. And then it's our job as we get older to develop empathy. But it's not ingrained in us.
Right.
I don't think so.
Well, I don't know. Some people may say it is, for selfish reasons. Being empathetic may have selfish motives.
Like, because it'll make you feel good?
Yeah, or it makes the group function better, whatever.
Yeah. Let's go to Jacob in California. What's up, Jacob?
Hi, Jacob.
Good day, gentlemen.
Good day.
First time, long time. Love the show.
Excellent.
So, back when I was around 15, 16 years old, my buddy was first to get a car. It was like a 1990 Cadillac, very unmistakable. And we're driving down, this is when I lived in Vegas, too. So we were driving down one of the main roads there, and we were flicking pennies out of the window at people. And we come across a bus stop with a couple sitting there. So we flick one at them, and, if we go figure, it hits them, laugh. About 2 miles up the road, we get to our friend's house, which is where we were going. And lo and behold, this couple lives next door to my friend. So we're sitting outside waiting for him to get there, and they get there, and she's got a giant welt on her face, because apparently the penny hit her right in the face. This guy runs into his house, grabs a kitchen knife, and starts chasing all of us around this giant Cadillac, trying to stab us. There's 4 of us, and literally we're just running around like Benny Hill around this car. And
because can you imagine an old man who's sitting there looking at these kids laughing that just hurt his wife, and he's sitting there after everything that I've dealt with in this life, after everything I've gone through.
Korean War.
Yeah. I have to deal with these fucking kids laughing at the fact that they put a welt on my sweet old lady wife's face. And you kids are just like, he's not going to catch us. He's not going to catch us.
Oh, man. It was classic.
Oh.
Fucking
Thanks.
outstanding.
Thank you, buddy.
See you, man.
It's so bad. Oh, Whitey on Long Island?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
What's up, buddy?
Hi, Whitey.
Love the new show.
Thank you.
Thanks.
So we used to play this game up in school, kind of like how the CKY guys used to do with the ATM. We used to play Shit Dollar, and we didn't need cable during the summer. All I needed was a rookie from the fraternity and $1 and shit, and we'd make him go set up the dollar across the street, wait for unsuspecting people just to bend down and be like, "Ooh, $1," right? And then, of course, when the person grabs $1, all of us would be sitting out front on our front lawn and just yell "shit $1" on the top of our lawn to make the person feel like shit.
What a bunch of fucking bros.
Yeah, it was bros. And it was all good until this one day we see this lady walking her young kid and then another kid in the stroller coming up to the $1, and everybody's cringing and just going, "Oh no, oh no, oh no." And idiot drunk me, I'm like, "Oh fuck yeah!" And so when we'd normally be yelling "shit $1," when she went to go grab down the $1, everybody was quiet except me. And I just yelled "shit $1" on the top of my lungs, standing up on top of the table. And this lady just gives me this look of just despair, horror, with herself. The poor small child looks like she's going to cry because mommy's freaking out. She's got a bunch of shit on her fingers.
Wait, why didn't they yell with you, your friends?
Oh, because they didn't want to they didn't want to draw attention and they felt bad.
Yeah, they actually, their feelings actually were on display.
Yeah, so and it got so bad that every summer we used to do that, and people just knew, if you're walking in front of the beta house, don't grab the $1 on the ground. There's going to be shit on it. What
a genius idea. This is the first, and in 48 years, this is the first I'm hearing of shit $1.
There's something in your eyes that makes me feel like you kind of want to try it.
You kind of want to try it. I actually want to do a better trick. I want to take a piece of shit and then just hide a buck under it.
Yeah, you get a reward if you play with
goes to pick up the shit.
Yeah,
find a buckaroo. That's pretty brilliant.
Shit $1?
Yeah, it's so stupid. And I look at these things I would have loved this world that people are in now with videotaping and all that shit. I would have loved that when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Fuck yes, man. But I would have gotten in trouble because I would have. That's why guys get in trouble on Facebook, because they do something stupid at school. Hey, we pulled down the retarded kid's pants, and then they post it on Facebook. Yeah. And it's like, hey, dumbbells, what do you think? That only your friends are going to look at this? No one's going to see it?
Well, how many people get in trouble for videoing shit they're doing at fast food restaurants or something? Some guy's taking a photo of himself taking a bath in onion rings, and yeah, Burger King's gonna have a huge issue with that.
Yeah, people just don't think there's any consequences for it.
No, they don't.
But I get that. It'd still be fun to do.
Yeah, well, because your world is so small that you don't realize that it could be opened up real quick in this day and age. You know what I mean? Like these videos, you think that you're gonna post it, and your 9 dopey friends are going to see it and laugh.
And keep it among the little world that you live in.
Right. You're thinking, I'm not even Facebook friends with my manager, so they'll never see it. Not realizing that all it takes is one person to send it to another person, and now it's on the news.
The friend of a friend, yeah.
Right. And unfortunately, with the news, they can't sit there and be like, this is hilarious. Remember when we used to do shit when we were kids? They have to be like, I don't understand. Where would this behavior come from? As if the fucking news anchors weren't doing the most shitty things to people when they were growing up.
Yeah, there's always something fun about putting a substance on something else.
You think so?
Always something fun about that.
Well, Ashley in Louisville wants to take it back to Lyft.
Hi, Ashley?
Ashley, you there?
Hello? Oh, give it a second. Hello?
Ashley.
Hello. Yes.
Yeah. What's up? You're on the air.
I'm on the air.
You're on the radio.
Yes,
you called the radio show
us
about Lyft.
Okay, so I made you all a promo code. It's XM103. So if you all want to try it out, it's $50 towards your ride.
What? How'd you make it?
I'm a Lyft driver.
Oh, and you could just make promo codes?
Yeah.
Thank you. You just gave it out on the air.
Yeah, but
sweet, ain't it?
Yeah, but that means anybody can use it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Anybody can use it.
Whoa. All right, cool. So put in XM103, Jim, and you get $50 off a Lyft ride.
Really?
Yeah.
It goes to you get $50 credit to your account, and every time you take a ride, it's $50.
You have to have an account.
$50.
But wait a minute. Hold on. Let me ask you a question. Are you allowed to do that? You're just giving away Lyft rides?
Yeah, Lyft tries to get new people in. They want you to sign up and be a new user.
They're competing with Uber.
Right. That way, you're not going to call up Uber or whatever.
Oh, there's no competition with Uber.
Oh, you're a Lyft loyalist, Ashley?
We are so much better.
Why? Because you got those stupid mustache things?
No, because we're fun.
Excuse me. I didn't realize all the fun people sign up for Lyft.
I want to sign up. I do reads for them on UFC Unfiltered, and they offered us the promo codes. We would get like $30 off or whatever. And I do want to try it because it's a nice option to Uber.
Most drivers just do both. Like they have Lyft and Uber. And when one person signs up for a ride, they just turn the other one off.
Oh, so it's a lot of the same drivers?
Absolutely.
Obviously. Okay, so I wouldn't be getting a big new bunch of drivers?
I don't think so. No. Thank you, but you get $50 off. Thank you, Ashley.
Yep, you're very welcome. Just use XM103.
You ever encounter any? You're a Lyft driver?
I am.
You ever encounter any creeps?
Obviously, every day.
You do.
Now, I had a girl I used to send home an Uber, and she said that guys would always ask her to sit in the front seat.
You know what, Lisa Ann? You know Lisa Ann, right?
Porn girl.
Yeah. She's not in porn anymore, but she was like legendary. You know what I mean? She's been in a lot of porn. She's very, very popular for it. But she had to stop using Uber because there was some guy that used to just only drive around where she lived. And anytime she requested an Uber, he was always the first driver because he was driving around her area and would just find her. And he said, like, she said the last straw, he was driving her to the airport jerking off. Like his hand was down his pants.
So
masturbating while he drove her.
But did he?
Difference with Lyft, though.
Did he get her there on time?
If you don't like someone, you can 3-star them or under, and you'll never get that person again.
Wow.
Hey.
That's pretty cool. I'm going to go download Lyft right now. I thought I had it on my phone, but apparently I don't.
Those phones are tough.
Okay, go download it, and I promise you will have so much more fun, and you will get that ride and not have to take a taxi.
All right. I don't like taxis. The taxis are fine, but it's just the inconvenience of them.
It's just funny her level of loyalty to it.
Yeah, she really is.
It's like just a part-time thing.
Yeah.
Let's go to Dr. X in Mexico City. What's up, pal?
Well, you know, when you go to construction sites, especially down here in Mexico, they leave the gravel and the sand, all that shit, and then, of course, they mix stuff either by hand or in those big cement mixers. We would find any kind of species of shit and put it on the bottom of the cement mixer with just a little bit of gravel on top to kind of mix it up. And we're not talking just one or two little duties. We're talking a couple of fine messes. Oh, man. The first gravel of the morning, these guys show up with a fucking hangover. Man, it stank like a mile away. It was fucking best.
So the shit would mix in with the cement?
But wouldn't the cement just overpower it or would it smell?
No, because first they add the water. You add water first, start mixing it up with the old cement off the mixer. And then, of course, they had to break it off, and that water just stinks like solid shit.
Oh, no.
And cement doesn't really have a smell.
Right.
It's not really a strong, odorous thing.
Not as strong as shit, of course.
No, shit's much stronger.
Yeah, paper, rock, scissors. I guess shit trumps.
Yeah, it does. Thank you, Dr. X.
Ow.
Ow. Like he's an 80s hair metal star.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Let's do a rock scream.
Did you hear about Brendan Dassey?
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about him getting out.
How are you the only guy who thinks Brendan Dassey did? I get
because I read stuff that the prosecutor said after this case was over.
I understand that some of the evidence was not in Making a Murderer, but the prosecutor was a shithead.
So what?
He was definitely a shithead.
Didn't mean he was a shithead with the case, though. They made him out to be and I'm not saying that Brendan shouldn't get out. I'm just saying I'm not as convinced as everybody else is because the prosecutor, they need a bad guy to make the documentary interesting. And
no, but stuff came out about him later.
Yeah,
that
he was texting a girl who was a domestic violence victim. He's an asshole.
But I mean, you saw Brendan's lawyer.
Terrible. You're right.
So
Absolutely
he didn't.
bad.
So that but that's why he's getting it.
Horrible.
Yeah.
I am only thinking of some of the physical evidence that I read after about him having some cleaning product on his pants that they said was used to clean up the murder scene. There's a couple of just I forget what it was, but I remember reading it and going, "Oh, he didn't look as innocent as I thought."
And of course, I'm 100% convinced that there was a bias with that documentary. Of course,
yes, of course.
The point of the series was to show that he was unjustifiably put in jail, Stephen Avery. But at the same time, when you've got the prosecutor coming out and saying, here's what you didn't see, the prosecutor's got a pretty major bias, too. He lost, he won the case, but it became this story, and he lost a lot of his livelihood.
I think he's already not a prosecutor anymore, and he's basically going, I'm happy to do. I would love to interview him. Ken something his name was. I would love to interview him because he said there's so much evidence that they didn't have in there. And there's no reason for them not to put that evidence in there.
Yeah, but wasn't there also stories of him fucking around with the case and talking to jurors and doing all that?
I don't remember the jurors. I remember him having some sexting thing with a girl who was a domestic violence victim. There was
And
some
also,
allusion to it. I don't remember what it was.
But it wasn't just sexting. It was him using his power as a prosecutor over victims. Like, it was him using his power
That
over
I don't
people
remember.
and abusing his power. That was why the sexting thing was such a story.
And I'm pretty sure when he's talking about how there's evidence that wasn't shown, he's talking about Stephen Avery and not.
I think both of them.
Yeah, I mean,
a lot of physical evidence. I believe. I know there was definitely fucking sweat evidence that wasn't talked about. They made a lot more of that blood sample thing than they should have. Because people have said, no, that's very common. It's when you do this. I forget the explanation. I don't know.
Oh, you mean the fact that they made it appear as though the blood had been tampered with?
Didn't you notice that never had a conclusion? It was like, dun-dun! You can almost hear organ music.
Right.
And then just kind of fucking tapered out of the documentary.
Right. But, I mean, you look at the confessions that Brendan Dassey made, and they were obviously not legitimate confessions.
Shitty. Obviously awful, yes.
Like, there's no way that Brendan Dassey should be in jail based on the case.
And I do think that they planted those keys.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. And even if the question is not, did these guys do it? The question is, was that proven, right? So, like, even if Brendan Dassey did it, which I don't think he probably did, because he's very stupid. But if he did do it, there's no way that it was proven.
Find evidence left out of the documentary, if you can. Yeah, I know that Dassey got out, but I remember thinking he should get out.
Yeah.
And
he's
then
trying to get his fucking project back to class.
And then reading some of this evidence and thinking, no, he shouldn't have. There was
just based on how they handled him before he went on trial.
Terrible. No, he at very least deserves a new trial. I absolutely think so.
That shit of him in the classroom, when he's sitting there in that like little kid's classroom.
Yeah, with his lawyer.
Right, and they're telling him what to write down, and he's just doing it. Like, he's obviously a mentally retarded person.
Like, I think that I think Mumia Abu Jamal committed. I think he shot that cop, but I also think he deserves another trial because I think there was fucked up things in his trial.
Yeah,
but I think he did it. Right here, there was additional DNA evidence pointing to Avery,
according to Ken Kratz.
Ken Kratz, the prosecutor, that his DNA was found under Hallback's trunk. The woman, though earlier he said it was found under the hood. It wasn't blood; it was from his sweaty hands. Did the cops also have a vial of his sweat that they're carrying around? The evidence conclusively shows that Stephen Avery's hand was under the hood when he insists he never touched her car. So that's something that I don't know why they would have left that evidence out, but to me that's pretty damning evidence.
Well, it's questionable, but I don't think that is worse than how shittily the car was hidden.
Her belongings were found on his property. Her phone and camera were found 20 feet from his door. This isn't contested, he said. Avery and Hallback knew each other. There's a lot of stuff. 2 jurors in the Avery trial had relatives working for the sheriff's department. A lot of stuff that seemed to be left out of the documentary. I don't know why.
Yeah, and they did, the documentary, I think, did people a disservice by not including a lot of that stuff.
And they didn't need to leave it out.
No, they didn't.
It's still fascinating. The guy goes to jail for something he didn't do because of shitty police work or lousy, and then he commits a crime, or like, that's still fascinating.
Right. And the point of a documentary is not to take a side.
Right.
It's supposed to be anyway. I was talking to Jess over the weekend. I was telling her about the Rats documentary that Morgan Spurlock did. And she was like, well, is it pro rats or against rats? And I go, no, it's a documentary. It's not
about rats.
It's not supposed to be pro or against, but we're so used to which side of the story does this tell?
And I was thought of that last night, actually, walking home. I went out to dinner with a bunch of people last night. I'm walking home on stopped at a light, and there was the big bag of garbage, and I saw a big rat run from the sewer in. So I stood there for a second, and I saw them poking their head up, little babies pointing their head up. It was cute, actually. It didn't creep me out. Because rats, I don't like rats, but they don't drive me, like some people have a phobia. If one ran over my foot, I would jump. But if I see them scampering to the garbage, I'll stand there and watch them. They don't make me, But it was kind of cool to watch them poke their head out. And I was going to videotape it. I'm like, well, who cares, even if you can?
I saw rats in New York City.
That's why I just didn't do it.
Look at me. I got a rat. There's rats outside in New York?
Yeah, that was why I quickly. And by the way, fucking iTunes can eat my ball bag.
Okay, so far you have a problem with the apps on the iPhone, the availability of the iPhone, and iTunes.
I have 2 different, a very old iTunes email that I used, and then a newer one.
Wait, what? What do you mean iTunes? Oh, you mean for your
iTunes, for my
your account? Okay,
an old one. And now both of them are popping up on my phone. I don't remember my old one, but my new one I can sign into. It's just a fucking cunt mess.
So why don't you stop with the Apple nonsense?
I tried so many times to get rid of this old one, and they keep telling me it's gone, and yet stupid Apple keeps it.
So get rid of your iPhone.
No.
Do something else.
Why? Because Google, isn't this new Google one getting hacked? Hasn't it been hacked in like under a minute? They said they could hack the new Google one that's backing up all your stuff to your fucking Gmail or whatever it's doing. It's like, fuck you.
It's not easier to hack.
Stay out of my life.
It's not any easier to hack than the iPhone is.
It is because you're storing everything online.
You're storing everything online on the iPhone.
No, you're not. No,
oh, you mean? Well, yeah, but you don't have to use the Google Cloud if you don't want to. You know, they don't force you to. They're just saying it's a great option.
Here's what bothers me, too.
Tell me.
They are obsessed with getting me to sign into the iCloud. The fucking Mac, every time I sign on, how do you turn off your notifications? I'm not interested.
They're just sitting there. Eddie Q is sitting there like, that goddamn Jim Norton hasn't signed into his iCloud.
Remind him.
Send him. They got it on their computer.
Cancel. I'm not interested.
Send another one to his phone. This goddamn comedian won't sign into the iCloud.
I'm not interested. I'm not interested.
I gotta see these photos. He keeps saying he's got dirty photos all over his phone. Send him another reminder. We gotta get Jim Norton on the iCloud.
I'm not interested.
You won't do it.
No, I will absolutely not do it. I'm not fucking joining the sign up for the iCloud. Stop asking. The computer, every time I sign on, I have to put cancel. It's like 3 or 4. You're not signed into I know.
Right.
I don't need to be signed in to let you know that I'm here.
But they want to know.
There's got to be a way to turn off those notifications. I just haven't done it.
Don't give him the option.
We should just get Eddie on the phone. And
Eddie
he can
Q?
answer all of Jim's questions.
Give me a number, Eddie. I'm going to call you when I get home.
Tim Cook just wrote a memo to Eddie Q. Eddie, Norton hasn't signed into the iCloud. Take care of this. God damn it.
Would you talk to Eddie about all of Jim's frustrations?
Oh, yeah.
I talk to Eddie about my frustrations.
If we could do... you know what I would love? I've exchanged a couple emails here and there with Steve Wozniak. I would love to get Steve Wozniak on the show so Jim could go over some tech advice.
Because I have a love-hate relationship with Apple.
Because Woz is outside of Apple now. He would give you the real skinny.
It's a wonderful... It's an amazing... Everything ever since Steve Jobs died, I really think they stink. I've been saying that Tim Cook stinks since day one. That Apple Watch, they should literally bend over and hammer it into their own assholes.
You think so?
I'm not interested.
He's talking about shoving the watch up our asses again, Eddie.
No
you got to do something about this Norton. Get him on the iCloud.
Where's the Apple TV? Where's the Apple? They were talking about all this stuff.
They got Apple TV.
Fuck you catching up. I mean, it's like a separate unit, not just the program.
Yeah, but if you can't innovate it, then what's the point of doing it?
Well, exactly. So what's with the watch?
I do love Apple TV. That's the only thing left that I love.
Apple TV is great.
I mean, I like that what they have. But I mean,
you're talking about an actual.
They were supposed to. They talked about it at one point. Yeah.
No, I know. Yeah.
I think they just decided not to with the TV. They still might at some point.
Focus on the watch
and a car. I mean, I think that they've completely shut down that.
They're not doing the car.
I know that they were like really heavily, doing it last year, but I think they've scaled
Eddie,
back.
what makes you think we can do a car? We can't even get fucking Jim Norton to sign up to the iCloud.
They're not wrong.
We're trying, but if you get a Google thing, whatever they're called, the phone. What's the new Google phone called? Pixel.
I thought you were getting it.
I am. If you get a Pixel and you don't sign up to Google Cloud or whatever, then it's gonna be just as easy to not hack.
See, it's still giving me my new.
Stop with the Apple shit.
My new fucking ID, which I've had for years, and it still pops up and wants me when I'm trying to update on the App Store. It's so fucking frustrating.
Oh, tell Jim if he signs up to the iCloud, he can get access to our laptop with the swipey bar on top.
So enraging.
Just hit cancel.
Hit cancel. Hit cancel. What did I say? Hit cancel. Trying to update one and it won't let me because it wants me to sign in, you mother's cunt.
You got to sign into the iCloud.
I know, but it's my fucking.
It wants you to sign into the
one.
iCloud or the iTunes?
I don't know.
I tell you, yesterday, and I do it every day, I was sitting there on my computer texting. I catch up on my text messages on my computer, and that's the one thing that I like about the iPhone still, that it connects to my computer and I can text on my laptop. I like doing that, but you don't do that, do you, Jim? You don't text on your laptop.
Jim's not paying attention.
No, I'm listening to everything you're saying because now it locked my Apple ID.
Well, You don't know your password.
I can't remember my old one.
Lock it down. Lock it down. Tell him he can unlock it if he signs up to the iCloud.
Yeah, you got to email Eddie to get that password.
But why won't it let me? I have the new one.
Jim, we'd be happy to log you back into your iPhone, but you scratch our back and we'll scratch yours.
So fucking enraging. It keeps going to this old email address. And I've talked to these fucking cocksuckers at Apple. In the Apple store, get rid of that ID. I don't use it anymore. For literally
you
6
can't delete
times,
an Apple ID.
I've told them, that's not my Apple ID. This is, you fucks.
You know what you should do? If you had an iCloud email address, it'd be a lot easier.
I probably do that. I don't use it. And it wouldn't be easier. No, this is, again, another reason.
Hook it up to your iPhone.
No, another reason I don't fucking do that shit is because these dopes,
Right.
I've told them in the store, I've told them on the phone to get rid of it, and it just keeps mysteriously popping up.
Right.
So I don't trust them to not take an old backup, put it over my new backup, which Mobile Me used to do, which fucking stunk.
We fixed it. The iCloud's better.
It's really awful.
Look, get yourself a Pixel.
I'm so angry right now. I could throw my fucking phone.
Throw the phone and go to the Verizon store and get a Pixel. And don't sign up for Google Cloud or whatever it's called. And that way, nobody will hack your bullshit. Right? And that way you won't have to deal with Apple all the time. You don't text on your computer, right?
No.
Because you need an iCloud to do that.
Yeah, of course you do.
So,
of course. God forbid you.
How else would you be able to connect?
I'm just so annoyed that this thing isn't doing what it's supposed to do.
Then get rid of it. Get a phone that's not an iPhone. There's other phones out there. Get it. Don't. You can't. You know what you know what you are, Jim? You're an Apple cuck. You're being an Apple cuck
in a lot of ways.
You're being an Apple cuck right now.
How do I have two iTunes IDs in the same phone?
Because they want to have all your purchases on the phone.
But how do I have two different accounts on the same phone? It's fucking insanity.
That way, because all your music has to come in.
But
They're
why isn't
linked
it the
accounts. They're linked. They know that's your old one, that's your new one, and we got all your songs for you, Jim. And they'll go right to your computer if you sign up to the iCloud.
So irritating. So irritating. All right.
You know, your photos could go right to your computer. No need to plug anything in.
Cool, that's what I want. That's what I need.
Mike in Toronto, you want to help Jim?
Jimmy, how are you, buddy? I love you.
Thank you, Mike. Now, by the way, how many times do I need to sign into the fucking Apple store? I signed into the iTunes store, and now it's asking me on another thing, sign in.
You know, if you used iCloud, it would be across the board, and we wouldn't have to worry about this, Jim.
What's up, buddy?
Jim, I'm so fucking annoyed with the same bullshit, but I can tell you why it's happening. Because once upon a time, you either purchased an album or some app on your fucking phone with that old iTunes account, and now you want to update all the apps on your phone, and so in order for it to update that old app you installed under that old account, it needs you to fucking sign into that one and narrowing down which app that is so that you can just fucking get rid of it from your phone? How do you do that? How do you know which old app?
Email Eddie Q.
You simply can't just merge them together.
No, there's no merging.
It's awful.
Really horrible.
There's no merging. Listen, you know what you do? You get a new fucking phone that's not an iPhone.
No, because another phone will have its own set of problems. The Google phone, they're all going to have their own set of problems. This is not an Apple unique to Apple. This is just what I'm dealing with. Everyone who has a phone has fucking issues with it that are avoidable.
Yeah, but your issues feel like they're all within that Apple infrastructure.
Maybe, but again, I'd have the same ones with other phones.
I don't
Look
know.
at Galaxies; they're fucking on fire. You can't even bring a Galaxy. At least this doesn't blow up.
That's true.
You can't even fucking bring those on a plane.
You can bring your phone on an airplane?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fucking cool.
Yeah, them Galaxy Notes.
Let's go to Kevin in Virginia. What's up, pal?
Jimmy, 5 years ago, my wife used my laptop to do something on her fucking iPod. Ever since then, our fucking iTunes accounts it's like we cross streams. It's a fucking nightmare.
Yeah, it's this incestual thing they do that once they got you locked in, there's no way out. I haven't used the email address that I had in a long time.
Look,
I didn't even remember I had the email address. Some obscure email address I used.
Here's what you do. You get a new phone that's not an iPhone. You download all new apps. That way it's all under one account, whatever you need, it'll be there. Then for your music.
No, but I want all the information I have on these apps will be lost if I delete it.
What information?
Just people I've talked to, like or chats I've had.
You could save your phone and just look back at your texts.
You could do that, but there's no way to merge them. It's enraging.
And as far as music goes, you should just be streaming it anyway. You can use SiriusXM, Spotify.
Why stream it when there's shit fucking reception everywhere? There's not Wi-Fi everywhere. I'm not just going to stream music. My fucking house, I have. You got
Wi-Fi in your house.
Wi-Fi in my living room,
yeah,
but not in my bedroom. It tapers out terribly.
It does?
Yeah. Verizon. I love Fios, but the internet in my house is really great in one half, and in the bedroom I have one bar. So what is my wall made out of? The fucking same shit that they made the door out of in War Games? How can I not get my fucking Wi-Fi in my bedroom?
Must be nice to have a giant New York City compound.
I wish there was a problem.
That's what it is, too much space.
That's not the problem.
You don't think so?
No.
Thick walls. You ever tried a Wi-Fi repeater?
Yeah, and of course, I couldn't make it work. I did. I bought one, a good one, and of course, it wouldn't lock in. I just don't know how to do that stuff.
No. Apple's got them, right? Doesn't Apple have those mini Wi-Fi things that you plug in that you can use as repeaters?
You can buy those everywhere.
Yeah. You never tried them?
No. An Apple. No, I had like one of the backups that had Wi-Fi in it, and that was always good. That was what I always used.
Oh.
But now that I'm not using it, I'm having problems.
Colin in Minneapolis.
Here's one thing about moving.
Yeah.
All the little technological shit you have hooked up.
Oh, yeah.
It takes a long time to get that back in
Everything
working
you
order.
figured out years ago.
Finally, you're going to bridge this to that, and that's the master one, and then you fucking move, and you got to ask somebody else, and you're like, oh, no.
You know how many pictures I take, like, before I move of, like, everything and where it's connected and what's going on, so that when I get into the new apartment, I can just do it exactly like it was instead of thinking that I'm going to magically remember all this shit that I'm never going to remember.
You know, some of us take a lot of other pictures.
No.
Some of
and
our
then I back
phones
those
are full.
pictures up to the iCloud so I can look at them anywhere.
Travis is not great with technology, though.
No.
Or radio.
When he sets up, like, cable boxes or whatever, like, there's multiple outputs, you know? So you can pick whatever works best for you. Travis just plugs every output into every input on his TV.
Yeah, there were times where I would do that.
Yeah.
Not anymore, but...
So you take the HDMI and, like, the RF and everything and just plug all the wires into the TV.
Yeah, that way something's going to work.
Right, that makes sense.
It's either going to be SD or HD.
Right, and you're going like, okay, which input is the cable box on? All of them? It's actually on every input.
1 through 4.
And that guy's wrong, by the way. The iTunes... The app I'm looking at is new, and it was done under my new. Or maybe I had my old one open, didn't know it.
What's the app that's giving you all this grief?
It's all of them. It's not the apps. It's the idea of it. It's not like one app.
So you're telling me you have a problem conceptually?
Yeah.
Oh boy. Colin in Minneapolis. Welcome to Jim Norton and Sam Roberts.
Thank you. First of all, you can text with Google on your computer. It's called Google Voice. Super simple.
Oh shit! I'm going to do that then. I'm getting the phone.
Jim, stop being afraid of technology.
I'm not afraid of it.
It's so easy. I have had Google phones forever. I've never put a single photo on Google Drive. It's incredibly easy. They ask you right away. You just say no, and it's done.
Here's why.
It's simple.
Here's the problem I have with technology. I'm
Let
not
me
afraid of it, dude. It's the shit like this, where you specifically tell them to take something out of the system, and it just doesn't go away. That's the problem I have with it. It's not a fear of it. It's a realistic knowledge that this shit is not as easy as people think it is, and stuff doesn't go away as fast as people think it does, and that's how people lose their information, or that's how people get identity theft, because everyone thinks they know what the fuck they're doing, and they don't.
It's just instincts. It's instinctive. That's why the touch.
The thing I like about Google is, yes, of course, they're trying to take your information just like everybody else, but it's way more user-friendly than Apple products, in my opinion.
Maybe. Can it work with the iPhone? Sorry, buddy. A Mac, like a MacBook Pro. Do they sync up as well with Google phones as they do? Probably not.
You just have to use different stuff. Like you wouldn't use iPhoto and all that stuff. You would just use other stuff on your MacBook.
Right.
That's a lot.
Just a different platform. It's user-friendly. They aren't constantly trying to fuck you. Your phone will still work through updates. I mean, there's bugs and stuff, but, I mean, it's not... I never have dealt with anything like you guys described.
But, dude, Windows, I never want to go back to a Windows computer.
You don't have to go back to a Windows
I know. I'm saying a Windows... Is that a Windows operating system, the Google phone?
No.
No, it's Android.
Google's, it's Android. It's Google's operating. system.
It's totally different. And there's Chromebooks, things like that. They don't operate on Windows. It's all
Chrome.
What do you think of Google Chrome?
Shit.
Why don't you like Google
I
Chrome?
just don't like it. Or how about this? The fucking Hangout spot. What's this other one?
Google Hangouts?
Oh,
you never did a Google Hangout
fuck
before?
You.
You think so?
No. What's this new one where they want you to like have a circle of friends? Hey, let's see what my circle of friends is doing.
You don't hang out on Google Plus?
Google Plus is it? No.
That's not new, by the way.
No, no, it's not. I mean, I couldn't think of that.
Why don't you like Google Chrome? It's just a browser. It's
stupid.
It's the best browser.
No,
out
it's not.
there. Yes, it is.
No, it's not. And Google Plus is shit.
Google Plus is shit. That's the one failure they've had. But I
a
almost
bunch of circles of friends.
Yeah, you're right. No. That is one of the many failures they've had.
Let's have all my friends in circle. Hey, let's see what Joe, Bill, Steve, and Susie are doing. What are you guys talking about?
But I use Google. I use Google Chrome almost exclusively.
You also use Grindr. What does that mean?
You saying Google Chrome is for homos?
No, I've had it. I wasn't impressed.
Jim's a Netscape guy.
By the way, what is this fucking?
I like that Jim's like he's like, yeah, Apple sucks now, but I'm only going to use Safari and iTunes.
Hey, look, you ever try downloading? I think it's Adobe that does it. One of them bundles in this Bing search engine.
Oh yeah, Microsoft.
Oh, kill yourselves.
Bing is not good.
Bing sucks.
You don't Bing?
No, I like the original Bing who would drink and beat his kids. That Bing I love. That Bing is awesome. But as a search engine, how dare they? That's the type of stuff with a computer again. That's not being afraid of technology. It's this sneaky
Bing only comes in with
shit they do where they bundle software and they tell you like, hey, do you want what we have? And do you have a yes and you can download it, or a no and you can't?
I figured something out. You know why Bing got bundled in? Somebody still uses Internet Explorer.
No, not for Windows. No, I don't use any Windows stuff.
That's what Microsoft is. Bing doesn't come equipped with anything besides.
You have to use Adobe once in a while for certain things. No, I use Safari, and it comes anyway when you would download. I'm thinking that's what it was. I don't use. I don't have it
about.
It's bundled in software.
Okay.
I don't have it, and once in a while, when my Safari pops up with Bing as my instead of Google.
Do you like that?
It makes me. I literally would shoot somebody in the head.
All it's done is it's changed your default search from Google to Bing. So
right,
you just
but I know, but how dare they get in there and do that?
Yeah, but you clicked OK, so just go into
No, I didn't. I clicked OK on downloading something like, and it's bundled in, and they don't give you the option to opt out of it.
Yeah. So just go into your preference and switch it.
No, but
or
I
you
think
can just Bing.
I think you should Bing.
Yeah. Binging sucks.
No way, dude.
No.
Apparently, you don't want the answers to your questions. Bing is the best thing since Ask Jeeves. That's Bing. Bing has the answers to everything.
But you know what I mean? That's what I hate about the technology. That's what's frustrating.
Always insane to me when things like Bing or Google Plus come out, and people and these companies actually think that like we want another search engine or we want another form of social
especially
media.
Forced on us.
Yeah.
Like forced on us. Like I'm not going to notice that your search engine is not as good.
I mean, it's still like if you want to change your YouTube user photo, it's your Google Plus photo. You have to log into your Google Plus account, change the photo.
Yeah, they won't let it go.
It's technological incest. They make you join this. I had just to do certain things with certain pages, you have to join. It's like they make it complicated because they want you in quicksand in their product.
And for a while there, Google was on such a streak that they thought they could do anything.
Yeah, but Huli, the same thing happened with Huli. And the minute they started competing for compression software, little companies like Pied Piper came and blew them out of the water. Silicon Valley. It's a great show.
Okay.
But yeah. I mean, you probably did leave a box checked instead of unchecking if Bing came in and took over.
No, it was the box checked was, do you want the software? They bundle it in, and if you say no, you don't get the software at all, and if you say yes, you get the bundles. There is no way to opt out. Of course, I never would have allowed that. I don't allow automatic updates.
You don't?
No, they have to tell me when they're going to update.
Right. Do you have iCloud?
I believe it's, I love it. It's wonderful. When I lost a month and a half of phone numbers and updates because Mobile Me was a piece of shit.
Mobile Me was terrible.
It stunk. But I knew it stunk, and my manager would be like, no, it's good. I'm like, it's not good, dude.
Apple has a lot of apologists. Like, Apple has a lot of people that want to believe they work. But it's funny, like, based on what Travis said, that, like, whether it's Mobile Me or Google Plus or Bing or any of these things, it's amazing how companies can put stuff out that is universally hated from day one, and it's like they didn't see it coming. You know what I mean? Like, nobody likes this stuff from day one, and it stays that way. And somehow They thought this would be loved. They thought this would be a loved piece of software that everybody would replace what they're using now that is perfectly fine.
Google Bing becomes my software or something like. Just Google, how do I get rid of Bing?
Ask Jeeves, how do you get rid of Bing? All right, we're going to ask Jeeves.
Is this still, ask Jeeves still, how do you get rid of Bing?
How do you get rid of Bing? Let's see if Jeeves knows. Jeeves is terrible.
No, Jeeves, still go to Google. Jeeves sucks.
Jeeves sucks.
Why don't you Bing it?
Yeah, Bing, how do you get rid of Bing? Go to Bing.com, Adrian. All right, good. Let's Bing it. How do you get rid of Bing? And just a website comes up that says, why would you want to?
Ask Leo. This is how bad Bing is. When you put in H-O for how, the first thing that comes up is how to get rid of Bing. That's how bad it is.
What are you talking about? You don't want to ask Leo Nottenboom?
God.
You don't ask Leo Nottenboom
Look
your
at how
tech questions?
bad that is.
Oh.
Look at how bad. Go back to the with the search results. It's just awful.
It really is terrible. It's like a more cluttered version of Google with worse fonts. That's what
hated
Bing
the
is.
fonts. I hated the fonts.
They're terrible fonts. Too much is bold. They're all thick.
Yep.
Very difficult to
Terrible.
read. Very difficult to read.
Looks cool.
You think so?
Yeah.
You're a Bing guy, though.
Yeah, I'm all about Bing.
Yeah, you got the Bing app for your iPhone?
Yeah. That's the sound things make when you pull them out of your hiney. They go Bing. What are you gonna say, Travis?
I was gonna. Well, something that I hate is in the new iOS 10, which none of you can relate to. You could search for GIFs inside text messages.
I have that
to send, but it's powered by Bing.
It is.
Yeah,
You know
and
why?
like-
And it's because Apple has such a hard-on for hating Google.
Yeah, and it sucks.
Wait, so you have to interact with Bing or no?
Well, yeah. I mean, when you do a search for a GIF or an image through your iMessage,
So,
like,
Who would do that? Who wants a GIF?
I do it all the
Everybody.
time.
All
You know
the
how many
kids.
Seinfeld GIFs I send a day?
I never sent
Hundreds?
GIFs ever.
I got to tell you something. People get laid with GIFs.
Yeah.
I want you to know something.
No, they don't.
There's one thing women like: dank meme pages. Okay, if you could set up a dank meme page, you can get laid. Women love GIFs.
Yeah, you. He's so loud.
He just shouts it. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Bleh. A little sick baby in there is getting excited with himself. Yeah, dude. Chicks love memes.
No, they love GIFs.
Yeah,
GIFs.
send a GIF.
With a T.
No.
GIFs.
Send me a GIF.
All right.
Text him a GIF right now, Travis.
Send me a GIF.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Let's see. I'll bet Jim realizes he likes it when he gets it. Look at that. There's Jim Norton GIFs already.
That's what I was going to send.
Did you text it to him?
Well, no, because now I got to find one.
Yeah. Find a nice GIF, and Jim will see.
Oh.
His
You can
penis.
see it right now. It's just, look, there's a great GIF.
Look at that.
Oh, that's a cool one.
Yeah, you see?
GIFs are cool.
That's Tyson biting my ear.
Yeah.
Women love GIFs.
You can be like, this is what I'm going to do.
Yes.
Where's Jim? I got to find him.
Find Jim.
Under B for boss. I better not be under Q.
Hang on, let me bing you something. Oh, here's a cute one.
Yeah, text him a nice GIF, and he'll see how popular these things are.
I'm waiting for my GIF.
I sent it. This one just popped up when I opened up the GIF page.
Ew.
What do you think?
I don't like this is the only GIF I've ever sent, and I don't like the one you sent. It's fucking terrible.
Okay.
What is it?
I don't even know if I'm sending a GIF, to be honest.
I guarantee you I'm going to get a link.
No.
That's just a photo.
All right, can I please be informed of the GIF exchange?
Well, I sent him SpongeBob giving an A-OK sign.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, and he sent me what appears to be some version of Tub Girl.
Just a photo of someone's dirty asshole.
I don't know if that's a GIF or not.
No,
this is just
it's
a
a
JPEG.
gift.
That's what it is. We should take a break.
Yeah.
We're going to have a amazing rest of the show. Joe Buck is coming in.
Yeah.
Which is fun because we've been talking about him. We'll have to ask him about his hair plugs and all that. And Dennis Quaid is going to be in studio today.
I used to do pranks when I was a boy.
Oh, wow.
I would put a table out, and I'd put a sign that says free red balloons, but then I'd only put blue ones.
We should go to break. Yeah, welcome back. Welcome back to Jim Norton and Sam Roberts. We have Joe Buck coming in today. We have Dennis Quaid coming in today.
I'm looking forward to talking to Joe Buck.
Yeah.
I don't know why people don't like him. I've never disliked him. I actually like him as an announcer.
He becomes fun. It becomes like cult of personality to hate him, I think. But and some people think he's biased. Like, I know Jonathan hated him while he was doing
Cubs
commentary
fan.
for the World Series because he doesn't think he's a Cubs fan.
Yeah.
Follow along with us on Twitter at Jim and Sam Show, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Snapchat, everything. We uploaded. Donald Sutherland didn't want video while he was in here yesterday. And so we uploaded the audio onto our YouTube channel of Donald Sutherland passing gas on command.
Oh, you could hear it.
Oh, yeah.
That was good.
We also have the full video of the Billy Bob Thornton interview up on the YouTube page, so you should check that out. And I believe we'll be able to start it today. If you have time to cut an intro real quick after the show, we're going to have a podcast on iTunes and SoundCloud.
Okay. We'll do it right now. How about, hey, man, his podcast. Check it out. Hope you have some laughs.
Why do you do that voice?
Start it over because Sam was laughing.
Hey, welcome aboard on the podcast, man. Hope you have some laughs, man.
Are you trying to be young because it's a podcast?
Yeah, I mean, I figured it would just kind of get people.
No, because it'll be reflective of the show. People are going to hear. The point is to get people to hear the show. You don't have to change your voice.
Oh. Hey, what's going on? Check out the podcast.
Why are you saying it like all casual and like that? That doesn't work at all. No, it's
It'll
not.
make people want to hear it.
Yeah, sometimes it is cool to get like a celebrity to intro your podcast. So it's not necessarily like Jim introing our podcast.
Ah.
Oh, I see. So it would be a different voice.
Yeah, maybe just somebody else intros the podcast.
Cool.
Oh, I don't know. We have so many celebrity friends.
No, you're right. We'll figure it out.
Bill Clinton could do it. I don't know.
Oh, he really could.
By the way, don't think that I didn't make a note to myself when I was researching Dennis Quaid last night that he has played Bill Clinton in a movie.
Did he?
Oh, yes, he did. Yes, he did. Dennis Quaid recently. Well,
we should do our bills together.
I would like to see that. I think that we should find out who was better, because who was it that came in here and you out-impressioned?
Everyone. Dan Soder, I destroyed.
Dan Soder, you crushed.
Destroyed.
Wasn't it the guy who played Ronald Reagan, the guy from Animal House who came in?
That's right.
Crushed him.
What's his name? Tim Matheson.
Yep, you crushed him.
Crushed him. Buried him.
And somebody was in here who did a Bill Clinton impression, and you crushed him too.
Oh, please. Whoever does them, I laugh at them.
Bruce Campbell, you crushed.
That's right.
You fucking slaughtered Bruce Campbell.
Well, I understand you do me.
Those videos are up on the YouTube channel as well. Speaking of presidents, people are all over Donald Trump now because of his choice for his chief strategist.
Oh, who?
It's the guy who used to run Breitbart.
Is that the Bannon guy?
Stephen K. Bannon. Yeah. So they're crediting Stephen K. Bannon with a lot of misogynistic, anti-Semitic, racist stuff that's been on Breitbart. Some of the headlines that have been brought forward. So he chose two guys, Donald Trump. So far, we know two members of his staff, and in the coming days, we'll know more. The rumor is that Rudy Giuliani is going to be Secretary of State, but that's just a rumor right now. What's confirmed is what's his name? Reince Priebus? No, it's not Rince. It's Reince.
Rince. It rhymes with. Oh no, Reince.
Reince.
It rhymes with pints.
Right.
Oh,
It's Reince.
That's how he tells people. So that's
Reince. It rhymes with pints.
Yeah.
Reince
It's
Priebus.
short for something too.
Is it?
Yeah, which
Reince quartz. Which would be very confusing because pints quartz.
Nope.
We wouldn't know how much fluid it was.
Why was rhetorical?
Terrible.
I wasn't really asking.
Reince Priebus is going to be Donald Trump's chief of staff. And his chief strategist, and I guess they'll be the two top guys.
Mm-hmm.
They're saying that they will be equals, is Stephen K. Bannon, who used to be in charge of Breitbart, and they're coming out with all like the headlines and stuff that Stephen K. Bannon they're saying was responsible for. Some of the headlines include, these are articles that were posted.
Let me find them so we can read them together. I don't know where they are.
One of them, the first one, birth control makes women unattractive and crazy. That was an article.
So basically, they're coming after this guy for being clickbait?
Well, here's the thing. I'll read some of the other ones. Planned Parenthood's body count under Cecil Richards is up to half a Holocaust. It is clickbaity.
But that's a big number. That's not even that. That's not anti-Jewish.
No,
that's
but
saying that there's 3 million.
It trivializes the Holocaust.
No, it doesn't. Planned Parenthood's body count. It does not. He's talking about what he sees as murdered. I'm not saying I agree with him.
When you refer to a number of murdered people as half a Holocaust, I could see where people would consider it a trivialization.
No, not at all.
You don't think so?
No, honestly, no. Because he's talking about, if he was saying, like, Kentucky Fried Chicken killed somebody, but he's talking about babies, and he sees them as being murdered, and he is saying, like, you put them on, this is how many, it's half a Holocaust. It's 3 million. It's weird wording, but I don't think that's trivializing it.
Okay.
Read the next one. The next one is pretty weird.
The next highlighted one?
WHO, no.
World Health Organization report, trannies 49 times higher HIV rate.
Well, that's not true.
Yeah, you're just concerned about that. The solution to online harassment is simple. Women should log off. Another one. There's no hiring bias against women in tech. They just suck at interviews. Now, here's the thing. These are not his headlines. These are all Milo headlines.
Right.
All of them. So, while, yes, it's his website and you could deem him responsible for the content, they're really making it seem like he's the one writing this stuff, when in actuality, Milo Yiannopoulos, who, by the way, I don't have a problem with, I've had him on my show before, and I'm trying to get him on this show, he's the one who's written all these ridiculous articles. Silicon Valley's startup culture explains why mass Muslim immigration must stop. That one I don't even think that just seems interesting. But people do feel like, because obviously he was in charge of Breitbart, and obviously that's a major part of the alt-right movement.
Was Milo there, by the way, when Andrew was there?
No, I don't think he was there when Andrew was there.
Oh, he came after Andrew died.
I believe so. I don't think he's been there that long. He's a young guy, and I certainly...
Well, Andrew died a few years ago.
Yeah, no, I know. I remember he was in here not too long before that. But, yeah, I don't think... He certainly wasn't as outlaid. Like, he wasn't the figure that he is now.
Right.
When Andrew was there. That's been recently. He joined Breitbart last year. So, yeah. No, he wasn't there when Andrew was there. You know, Sick Baby D-Bag used to work for this guy, Stephen K. Bannon. Because Stephen K. Bannon used to host Breitbart Radio here on Sirius. And so he would come in the morning, and before he was working for us, Sick Baby was working for Stephen K. Bannon.
Well, does Sick Baby have any insight?
I bet he does. Sick Baby! Have Sick Baby approach that microphone. Or have him come in here.
Hang on, he's going in there.
Okay.
On the phone.
Sick Baby's on his way. He's throwing up as he goes. Shit's coming down the ankles of his pants.
Little belly sticking out.
D-Bag, who's the better boss, us or Stephen K. Bannon?
You guys.
Yeah?
Well, what was wrong with Stephen K. Bannon? Did you not like that you had to say the middle initial all the time?
No, it wasn't even the middle initial.
Did you call him Steve VB?
No, I just call him
That's
Steve.
a good song, Because I Love You.
He was a temperamental man.
Was he?
Did he ever yell at you?
Oh yeah.
For what?
Anything and everything.
Like, what would you get yelled at for? What's an example of something you got yelled at for? Did you throw up on the console?
No, I was never a sick
God
baby.
damn it, Sick Baby! How am I supposed to do a radio show with Sick Baby vomit all over the console?
Yeah, would he shout at you for things you had actually done or things you hadn't done? Listen, I don't know if I dislike Stephen Bannon yet.
I mean, I don't necessarily dislike him either. I just think that he is a very off-the-wall character.
He's asking what you were getting yelled at for.
He would freak out over things that might have been our fault, but he would also freak out over, like, technical things that were completely beyond our control.
Would he insult you?
Not necessarily insult.
Would he ever call you Tits McGee?
No, he never called me Tits McGee. I don't see where you would get that from.
I'm just asking.
No, he never called me Tits McGee. But he would freak out, and he would go from 0 to 100 in a second. Like, throw shit across the room.
He would?
Yeah, he was nuts.
So was he responsible for a lot of nervous duties?
No, I mean, I wasn't so invested in it because I was literally just a phone screener when I was
Oh, you
working
didn't
with
give
him.
a fudge.
But
right, you gave a fudge in the toilet though after the
Yes,
show.
he did.
But I mean, he was super fucking intense. But he was really smart too.
But don't you feel like if you had taken that a little more seriously, maybe you could have a role in the White House right now instead of being made fun of for vomiting as a baby?
By the way, people wanted to know, where's the video of him in the cocksucker red lipstick?
People are asking?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Is
a
it
good
up?
No, it's
How come that wasn't put up?
Because I just didn't want to put a video of myself in lipstick and saran wrap on the internet.
You don't like that, Jim?
No.
Well, you might look. You're not getting the gig with Stephen K. Bannon. You know what I mean? You're not.
The
going,
White House is out of the picture.
You're not going on to the White House. You might as well, wrap yourself up in cellophane and put it up on the internet.
Yeah.
Well, I did half of that so far.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
How about a photo?
There are photos out there.
Okay.
We definitely Snapchatted a lot of it, but you can't.
Yeah.
You don't have access to the past.
Photos are up there. The photos are on Twitter still.
Okay,
And
good.
I'm sure on Reddit somewhere, I would guess.
You should retweet some of that because we're talking about it.
You got it.
So,
Thanks,
Send it
boss.
out there.
So, what would Stephen like? What was the stuff that would really get Stephen K. Bannon mad?
Well, the callers would be completely nuts, right? So you'd have people who, and it's hard to gauge because of the whole Breitbart model. You'd have someone calling in saying some crazy conspiratory, borderline nut job stuff, and it'd be like, oh, that's fine.
By the way, there are people tweeting in that they want D-Bag to dress up like Brendan Dassey to celebrate his newly found freedom.
That sounds fair.
I don't know how you dress like him.
Well, tomorrow, here's what you need to do. A little homework. Tonight, you need to go home and do some research, and tomorrow we need you in a Brendan Dassey outfit.
Yeah.
Fair?
Yeah.
Fair?
Yeah.
Okay. And also, you've seen Making a Murderer, right?
Yeah.
You need to talk like Brendan Dassey all day tomorrow, too. Fair?
Wisconsin-ish.
Is that fair?
Yeah, and dumb.
And stupid.
Yeah. Every time you answer the phone.
Yeah.
Hello. Fucking dopiest.
He really is stupid.
Hey, so what are they talking about today? I don't know.
Asking people what things mean.
We should have a Dassey off with the afternoon show.
You think they've got their own Dassey too?
Yeah.
Eric Dassey.
Oh my God.
What was the word that Dassey didn't know when they was talking on the phone with the mom?
I don't remember the word.
But you're gonna have to find that out by tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
So tell me about Stevie. What kind of insight do you have about him?
Yeah, give us the skinny.
He was really brilliant, actually. I will give him that. So when people
Smart
are coming,
guy?
yeah, he went to Harvard, and he would always talk about,
That's what Trump's lady keeps saying. She's like, it's not just about the fact that he worked at Breitbart. He went to Harvard and he worked at this bank and he has a pretty extensive resume.
Yeah, he might be a really smart guy.
Yeah, no, he is. And
a little off the wall though.
Yeah, and he's one of those guys that's like, well, I mean, he's cleaned up a lot now, but like he's one of those dudes who's just like so rich that he just like would show up in a hoodie and just like he didn't need to be flashy.
How did he make the money? How did he get rich?
So he started in the military, went to Harvard, then he was like a big wig at Goldman Sachs, and he started at the bottom and climbed all the way up.
He started at the bottom, now he's here?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yes, precisely.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Okay.
Somehow, somewhere along the way, he started getting into film and stuff, and he was a producer on documentaries and different entertainment stuff. And somehow he gets royalties from Seinfeld.
What?
Yeah, he's got Seinfeld money, no joke.
Travis, how is Stephen K. Bannon attached to Seinfeld?
I don't know. I'm going to find out now, but I suddenly like the White House.
Yeah, you better find out because you're going to be embroiled in battle with the Bennington show.
That's true.
Why, they don't like him?
No,
Travis, they hate Travis. Here's the problem. Bennington has an intern who's got quite a mouth on him. I heard him. He's not a respectful guy. He's got quite a mouth on him. He thinks he knows more about Seinfeld than Travis, and he's challenged Travis to a Seinfeld trivia contest where the loser will have to shave male pattern baldness into their head.
I'm going to have to start watching this show.
Do you know a lot about it?
I mean, yeah.
Kramer's first name.
He doesn't have
Cosmo.
one trick question.
Jim was right on that one.
Damn.
Sorry, dude. You're
All
really
right.
going to have to do a lot of homework.
Yeah, that's a really insider thing.
How does it make you feel, sick baby D-bag?
Wait, do more trivia. I'm fucking on fire.
Oh, okay.
I want to know.
All right. Who is this?
Sam. Go ahead, 2-0.
Correct. Seinfeld's best friend is...
Jewish. Go ahead. Go.
Okay, perfect. Yep. What does Seinfeld like to eat for breakfast?
Pussy. Go ahead.
That's
go.
true. That's 100% right. That's 100% right. What method of transportation was hanging up on Seinfeld's wall?
A fist.
That's it. That's correct. That's correct. Wow, you do know a lot about this show.
I know all about it.
What snack was Cosmo Kramer eating during the surgery episode?
Cookies with a gray pube in them, torn out by the root.
That's true. That's true.
Yes, it was.
I wonder where he got those.
A Madame Roberts special.
Well, I seem to have lost my taste for trivia.
No, I fucking bang these out, man. Travis stinks at this game.
Okay, co-creator of Seinfeld, now on Curb Your Enthusiasm. His name is
Jeff Garland.
Correct. The diner where they used to eat.
Absolutely.
That's correct. It was a true-false question.
For me.
Now, for bonus points, what word did it say outside the diner? That's correct. That's correct. Very good, Jim. Jim Norton, master of Seinfeld trivia.
Yeah, I'm pretty good with trivia, man. I like
even
trivia.
on shows you've never seen.
What's that?
I said even on shows you've never seen.
Yeah, but I would read
incredible.
synopsises.
Oh.
I believe it's synopsis.
You just read the TV guide every week to see the episode.
I love TV Guide. I still have a sub. Does this still exist, by the way, TV Guide?
It still exists as like a thing.
Yeah.
But they don't send those digest-sized magazines out.
No, it's like it's almost like a magazine.
Right.
For me, TV Guide was a great website. Sorry. That's how you met people.
Got it. I'm there.
Come on.
Early social media.
Yep, TV. Not all of us are as familiar with the lingo as
I
others
understand,
are.
but that's my thing to bring it into the zeitgeist.
Now, sick baby D-bag. Do you think after working with Stephen Bannon, you think he's good for the White House? Or does it make you be like, are you fucking for real right now?
Yeah, it's more shocking than
It's a little
anything.
shocking.
It's like I'm not going to be one of those people who's immediately going to jump to the inflammatory.
You were
response
protesting
of-
over the weekend.
Yep.
Were you? Yes, he was.
Was I?
Yes, he was.
I don't remember doing that.
And he had a sign up on a 2x4, and it said, it was a little picture of a baby, and it said, Donald Trump makes me shit and puke. You remember that?
Vaguely.
So
It's
you
been
are-
a long weekend, you know.
You are a little freaked out by the fact that Stephen K. Bannon, your ex-boss, is going to
work for the White House.
Yeah.
It's just nuts. Like this all, even though it seemed like the longest grueling like build up to this, it kind of was just like.
So you were working with him during all the Trump campaigning, really?
Yeah, so I worked there from about February until I guess early July before I came and started working on your night show, and I mean he always had this working relationship with Trump where like he would call in and like it was
he was calling in the show when you were there.
Yeah. So Steven literally would stand here, 20 feet away from the studio we're in right now, and he hosted the show. Trump would call in pretty regularly.
That's right.
And he would, and whenever Trump called in, he'd be like, "Oh, hey, can I talk to Steve?" Like really
That sounds just
casually,
like him.
yeah.
That's
The
good
Apprentice.
impression.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just
You see
nuts.
D-Bag, like, he's trying to think of a pivot to get away from the Trump impression thing, but he's just sitting there
No,
like,
it's just crazy.
Do
I think
Trump
he's,
again.
do Trump again.
What do you want me to say is Trump?
Whatever he would say to you.
He'd call and he'd be like, "Hey, sick baby D-bag, it's Trump calling for Steve Bannon."
Why would he call himself Trump?
Exactly. Why would he call you sick baby D-bag?
We just invented that name a week ago.
Exactly.
I'm just role playing here.
No, don't role play.
No.
We don't like it.
Do you want to hear the last time I asked D-Bag to do an Donald Trump impression?
Yes.
The Apprentice. Not good, right?
No.
Not as strong as others.
No.
Yeah.
Good.
A lot of people are doing Donald Trump impressions.
I don't fancy myself an impressionist.
No?
So, no, not particularly.
But it is crazy to see this guy, Stephen K. Bannon, in the White House.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing: when he wants to get something done, he's vehement, and he is definitely one of those powerful, strong leader type guys.
He's a can-do.
Right.
Yeah, but I mean,
Did he motivate you?
Sometimes.
You just said you went in not giving a fuck every morning.
Sometimes he would, but sometimes when he acted a little testy, I'd just be like, throw my hands up in the air, testy. Yeah, but I don't know. It's just crazy because if someone would go berserk over like radio stuff, like if a caller dropped off,
Right.
what the fuck just happened?
Yeah.
And it's like,
Well, he
well,
wants-
it's
he
interesting
wa-
to see
he-
what happens when he's in the war room. You know what I mean?
Well, it also he demands things function properly.
Right. That's not a bad quality.
It's not a bad quality. Even though he may be
Yeah.
a yeller or a screamer, Nixon was a motherfucker. He demands things function properly.
Yes.
He does not like when things are not working.
And I will give him credit. He ran one hell of a radio show.
Was it a good show?
Yeah.
How
And
long a show was it?
It was from 6 in the morning until 9.
Okay, 3 hours.
5 days a week.
All right.
And he had it loaded with guests and political people.
He was booking them himself?
I mean, he had like the Breitbart crew working on it,
Yeah.
and then there are Breitbart serious.
But he had Donald
producers.
Trump calling in and everything. So
Did
those
he
are
ever
good guests.
argue with people on the air?
He wouldn't argue. His whole message was that he's giving a voice to the people, and when people called in, he'd say, instead of telling them what he thought, he'd kind of like position them to tell him how they feel about an issue, even when they were like on the fence about how they felt about.
You know,
things,
it's funny. Leonard Nimoy did that's great political minds. Leonard Nimoy was
Spock?
Yes. Although I've said his name wrong a few times and gotten punched. Leonard Nimoy, I think I said drove a cab and one time in driving a taxi before, obviously, Star Trek, he picked up John F. Kennedy. I drove him through Dallas. I don't know how it worked out. But no, he picked him up here in New York. And he said that JFK, I think he recognized him as a senator. And he asked him, I forget what he asked JFK a question about something. And then JFK immediately goes, well, how do you feel about that? And then just got him to talk about how he felt about it. Smart political people, more than interject their own opinion, like get you to give yours. I'm not a smart political person because I'd rather give my own opinion because I'm arrogant.
Well, that's a metaphor for the whole election, right? Everyone that said that their voices weren't being heard across America, that's exactly what he did.
Oh, look at you.
Metaphors are good.
Alt-right D-bag all of a sudden.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
What are you, little Milo over there?
Yeah, behaviorally he
A
is.
young Milo.
Yeah, yes.
Don't be silly.
He doesn't agree with him politically, just personally.
That's right.
All the black dick stuff, right?
Yeah.
Does he like black dicks?
Oh,
Milo?
yeah. Yeah, he brings that up from time to time.
Good for him.
Yeah. He's brought up multiple times that he likes non-white dick. Oh, well, D-bag. You excited then? Would he know you if you?
Yeah.
Did he ever make you cry?
No.
Good.
No.
Because you're a strong man, right?
Yeah.
Too strong for that.
That's right.
What was that?
I flexed my non-muscles.
Oh, I see.
Oh, cute little preemie.
Yeah.
No, I mean, and you know what?
You could tell he was a preemie?
Of course. I'm looking at his face. It's cute. It's underdeveloped.
It is.
And I will give him credit that, like, when I went in there, I was...
Did he know you were a preemie?
No, but he knew that I was a fairly liberal-leaning person, and I was, in the beginning stages, I was, like, leaving his show and going to, like, Bernie rallies, and I would tell him stuff like that. And instead of him just, like, shrugging me off, he'd just look at me and be like, all right, like... You're young and naive. Like, when you get a little bit older, you'll start looking at things this kind of way. And then when I started working for your show, I emailed him and I was trying to get him on your show, and he like answered. Like, it didn't work out, but he answered my email immediately.
I would have. Well, I'll
so.
tell you what. Why don't you go ahead to a Bernie rally right now so we can get Joe Buck in?
Yeah,
here?
Joe Buck's here.
Yeah, take a fucking walk, D-bag.
Yeah, I'll get the fuck beat it.
outta
Hit the
here.
bricks.
Thank you for
Tell
giving
your
us
story
the insight.
walking. Scram!
Thank you for the insight.
Turn the
Yeah, flip those TV offs and bring
TV offs. Take your coffee. What are you doing with the wire?
Sick baby.
Joe Buck.
Let's get Joe Buck in here. Joe Buck,
Good.
legend. Joe Buck, what's going on?
How are we?
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
How you doing?
I'm good. Are we on?
We are on.
Yes.
I love it. I love walking in. Just go.
Yeah.
How tall are you? You're bigger than I thought you'd be.
I am a little over 6'1".
Oh, okay.
That's a good height.
Well, that's because I work with a giant.
Yep. Who did you work with?
Troy Aikman.
Oh, okay. I like
mean,
Troy
he's-
Aikman. I should
yeah.
probably know that.
He's like 6'5".
By the way, yesterday, Jim was talking about what a Cowboys fan he is.
Well, yeah, but I
And
don't follow
today
them
he's
after.
going, hey, who do you work with?
Sorry, I didn't buy my car at Roger Staubach's dealership either.
Right?
You'd think if Troy Aikman was still on television, you
But
would.
you see so many of these guys together,
Yeah,
you just
whatever.
forget who's teamed up with who.
I get it. Yeah, it's fine. But when I said giant, I threw you off. But he's bigger than you think, and I guess people meet me and they think I'm going to be like 5'2".
What is he, like 6'6", Troy? I should probably
He's
know
like
that.
6'5". I don't know, but he's got he's a large human.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, yeah.
Girls must love him.
You think
Oh,
so?
Yeah, chicks love him.
Yeah, they do.
right?
Yeah, I walk around with him. They don't even know I'm there.
That's humiliating,
Nice.
right?
It's humiliating. It's humiliating and yet freeing for some weird reason because I can do whatever I want. I can walk around, Nobody's looking.
Right.
Yeah, but Joe doesn't need to underplay himself. I was reading that article that The Ringer did about you.
Yeah.
And they talked about how you met your wife and that she was a reporter.
Total stalk job.
Right. And that you were just like, hey, tell the reporter down there that Joe Buck wants to talk to her.
Yeah.
And she got the message.
No,
and
he
she,
sent it down and said, tell him someone wants to talk to me. She said, I hope it's not Joe Buck.
Yes, that's
right.
what she said, literally. And the go-between said, why would you say that? She goes, I don't know. I've never heard anything bad about him. He just looks like a smug, arrogant jerk.
Yeah.
Why do people think that about you?
That became a metaphor for your career, right?
It did.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of what I deal with.
Yeah.
And that's why I wrote a friggin' book.
Right.
It's like, here, I'm not the smug, arrogant jerk that you think I am. It's why I called it Lucky Bastard. I am a lucky bastard. But why do people think that? I think because of my style on TV, and I do baseball, and every baseball fan wants to hear their hometown guys, and I'm the national guy, and so they get pissed no matter what you say. And then I guess my style comes off like I think I'm bigger or better than the game. It's actually the other way around. I try to talk, get out of the way, and let the game go.
I never got the impression, like, the only announcer, like, as a Yankee fan, I always thought Joe Morgan didn't like the Yankees, and then someone's like, yeah, because the Big Red Machine, he doesn't like that the late 90s Yankees are being compared to the... But that's the only time I ever felt that. I never got the impression that you were pro.
People in New York are like, I go around, why do you hate the Yankees? I did a thing for Funny or Die on that, where people are MFing me everywhere I go. And that just kind of, they're not unique. Kansas City thinks the same thing. And San Francisco, because you're used to hearing guys openly rooting on air for your team.
My manager, Jonathan, Sam and I were in L.A. for the World Series, and my manager's a big Cubs fan. And whenever you would talk, he'd be like, he hates the Cubs!
Yeah, especially when the Cubs were down, by the way. When the Cubs were down, he'd be like, oh, Joe fucking Buck, he's talking about the Cubs again. He hates them.
Right. Listen, he's not talking about the Cubs as enthusiastically.
He's so biased, and then his wife would just try to be nice, like, oh, yeah, he's biased.
Well, I think maybe, I could be wrong, the bias is in the ear of the listener more than it is.
Right.
I mean, come on. If you just take it on face value as an announcer, I'm the only one to ever call them winning the World Series in the history of television. There's a little bit of, I could be accused of going the other way on that. So he's wrong. Tell him, is he your manager?
He's my comedy manager, yeah.
He sucks.
It's so interesting, though. And I feel like, reading the book and reading about you, like the criticisms and the stuff people say about you, like they have a pretty deep effect on you. Like it seems like it hits you.
I think it's death by 1,000 cuts. Once you get it enough. But here's the thing. In person, people are great. Even in New York, they'll go, you hate the Yankees. No, I don't. Okay, what shot you drinking? So then they'll buy you a shot. And, I think you kind of get looked at as a thing. And it's like kill the messenger. Like you just said, when the Cubs aren't playing well, they're down 3-1. I sound like I hate the Cubs because I'm screaming and yelling for the Indians. But then they get mad because I turn around and start screaming for the Cubs when they come back in the series. So, yeah, I think I'm too thin-skinned, and I'm trying to get better at that. I go to therapy for that.
You do?
Hell yeah.
How often do you go?
Not enough.
Once a week?
No, like once every 3 weeks, 4 weeks.
Does it really help you?
Not to this point, no.
Well, maybe you got to go more. Once
I think I need to go more.
Yeah.
I walk out of there, I feel a little lighter. I feel a little more myself. Feel like the old Joe, the fighting Joe.
Right.
And then, a couple tweets later, and I'm not happy anymore.
It is weird how, like, the negative stuff on social. There's a million positive things, but the one negative thing, it's like they're validating what I already knew. Like, I'm shitty.
Exactly.
And it's like the highs and the lows too, because it's so easy, especially like in the business you're in. I'm sure. For somebody to like really lift you up, like if the right person says that you did a great job on this call, like you're through the roof. But then all you need is that one person to say the wrong thing, and it's a total stranger, and your day's ruined.
It makes no sense.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about it. But I don't, and I'm not that smart, so I just kind of let it hit.
It changed. I was interested. It said you're a Cardinals fan, so it changed the way you called them. Winning, like you said that you think you're
sucked. Yeah,
I can. Do you have that quality drink? I honestly don't remember it, but I'm sure you didn't suck.
In 2000, it makes me cringe. It's the only.
Was that was when they played the Mets?
They played.
Why would they play?
Yeah.
No, that was in the NLCS.
Yeah.
Then and here's what happened. The background is I'm at Shea.
Right.
They put my face on the scoreboard. I'm always going to be associated with the Cardinals, and fans booed because it's the same stuff. He hates my team. He's yelling for the other team. Well, then I get to the World Series. They're playing the Tigers, and I'm hearing it. They end up winning, and I'm like, that's the winner of the Cardinals, the first World Series. It sucked.
Because it got in your head.
It got in my head.
Because the booing and everything.
Yeah.
And when they were booing you, was it just because of your face, or did you you were enthusiastic?
I had a
right?
huge head.
That's what it was.
I think they were booing the size of my head. That's what I told myself. They're not booing me. They're booing the sight of my monstrous head.
It's the first thing you said in therapy. I can't find the fucking hat.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, if I could somehow come up with a hat that fit this head, I'm like 7 7/8.
Yeah,
it's a big hat. I mean, that's not like a gift shop hat.
No,
you have to special order.
That's my hat size too.
Really?
Yeah, and it's really I never wear hats ever, because it looks stupid.
Yeah, it looks ridiculous.
Yeah,
it's like a bucket.
I have a weird size head, but my face doesn't look good in hats because I have no chin. So I have kind of a round fucking dopey moon face, and it just doesn't. I knew I had a really bad face for hat. Years ago, a girlfriend I was dating just like, you look terrible in hats.
You look like you look like a little kid, but you look like a little kid in the Sandlot when you wear hats. Like the brim looks way
it's
too long,
straight and long. Yeah, it's really awful.
When you make that call, like, do you instantly know that was terrible?
That's one of those you listen. I mean, you're in the moment. You're hearing the crowd coming through your headset. You think, okay, I nailed that one. And then I hear it years later. I'm like, yeah.
All right, let me ask you a question. John Sterling, but for the Yankees.
Yes.
I love John Sterling and I hate him. Like, I think that he's one of the best. Like, when he's genuinely just doing the regular play-by-play stuff or calling a home run, I love him. But then he puts these little names on people, and I'm like, I don't understand why announcers get caught up.
You hate when he starts, because it sounds like he's going into business for himself.
When he makes it about himself, it's almost like when he's just doing the regular, 2-2, strike three. Like, I love him. I think his voice is awesome.
I think he's great. He gets picked on in the Post with Phil Mushnick, like every column.
Does Phil Mushnick ever say anything nice about anybody?
Don't think so.
Fuck that guy. He's the worst.
It gets, I get thrown in there all the time, and it's like, oh.
Does he not like you too?
Yeah, he doesn't. You know what he said about me early in my career? Joe Buck tries to be funny too much. That's like the worst thing. It's not. He gets too silly. Sometimes he's trying to be funny. That's the worst. But I don't really consider him the arbiter of.
He's the worst. He's literally the worst. I've never read him say anything. I don't read him. I mean, I've never heard him.
There's no balance. There's very little balance.
No. Yeah, that's his whole thing. Though. That's his shtick. Like, I'm the curmudgeon. Ooh, look out for Phil.
But
he might tell it like it is.
It's funny that when you, it's like, how dare they do this, and the Fox went into the gutter with this, and then if you pick up the Post, right below his column is like ads for strip joints.
It's or the covers of the Post. They show mass shooters, knowing that encourages more mass shooters. They're really in no moral position to complain about anything.
Yeah, we could do seminars on this. For sure.
We probably
bore
could.
the living hell out of you.
Oh no, people get it. So are you are you an insecure guy? I'm an insecure guy.
Totally.
You are.
Yeah.
Who's not? I mean, if you're not an insecure guy, you're a dick.
I don't know, man. Some people I admire who have a certain, a decent amount of confidence without being cocky. Like, there's people that have the appropriate amount of confidence.
I grew up as a fat kid. I'm a bald guy by nature. I was picked on as a kid in the school playground. So
For being fat?
For being fat.
So you have that, because we talk about it with girls a lot. When there's an attractive girl who has no self-confidence, it's because she used to be fat, and she still has fat girl mentality.
Absolutely.
And doesn't realize she could just get whatever she wants. She's hot now.
I interviewed Michael Phelps on this other show I do on DirecTV, and we put the cover up of him with all the gold medals around his neck for Sports Illustrated. I said, "What do you see when you see this picture?" He said, "I see an awkward guy with big ears." I said, "The rest of the world sees 18 gold medals around your neck, and you see a person with big ears and awkward looking," and he so that's what I got made fun of. That's all I see when I see that picture.
It is weird how those old tapes from being a kid, they're louder than anything you achieve as an adult. It's being that fucking loser or that frightened idiot.
Yeah.
That plays much louder than anything.
I had all my friends were dating girls, and I had a buddy, Kevin O'Mell. He and I would sit in his basement and watch Vacation for the 58th time on a Friday night. And everybody else was like trying to get beer, before being 21 and dating chicks. And we were done.
Wait, Joe. did you just say as a child you watched something other than baseball? This is not going to be good for you.
I know.
This is
I've
not.
already
You
gone
should
down that path
You should
before.
not. What do you mean you watched Vacation?
Yeah, I know. I was saying Fletch. Yeah, that was
Chevy
my
Chase's
childhood.
entire catalog.
Pretty much. I was not living and dying and breathing sports constantly, and nor do I now. I have a life. I have friends. I do other stuff.
So I want to know what made you have the strength to ask your wife repeatedly then? Because that's something I'm like a one and done guy. How do you, if you're insecure?
There was something about her,
and she had a boyfriend. She lived with a guy.
Yeah, and I just kept going, and I don't know why, and it was so unlike me, and the fact that I found this as a personal challenge, and I. Literally, it was going to be a restraining order or marriage.
Did you just keep calling her, or would you just kind of bump into her and go, "Hey, I'm still around"?
I kept trying to get to her through an intermediary, Rich Eisen of the NFL Network, and eventually he's like, "You know what? You're both good people. Here's her number. Here's his number. You two work it out." And then we did, and I wore her down, and now she's my wife of 2.5 years.
See, I never know. Like, that's the encouraging part of asking somebody more than once, because I usually ask once, and I'm like, fuck her. But, like, sometimes I guess you just know.
I just knew, and believe me, I'd gone through divorce. I have older kids. I was the last guy that was going to get remarried, and I got married, and I'm thankful that I did.
And you talk about a lot of stuff that guys wouldn't talk about. Like, this is what I like about it. Like, you talked about the hair plugs. You talked about being bald. Like, you seem to like talking about things that other people are afraid of.
I don't know. Why?
It was one of the promo stories for the book, though. Like, like you were like, "Hey, I got a book coming out. Guess what? I had 9 hair replacement surgeries. I was addicted to them.
I lost my voice."
Well, here's the thing. And what I found out is anytime, and it was said tongue in cheek. I mean, that's. A lot of the book is that way. But when I said addicted, you'd be insane. It's the worst, most painful procedure you could ever do. It's torture. So that was a joke. I wasn't addicted to hair plug surgery. It's like I'm freebasing hair plugs in the corner. I guess you're addicted to the results, but I'm very happy to never do it again. It sucks.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't care about talking about that stuff. And
the only problem was that I felt like, and I said it on the air, that like after that story came out, because we all got such a kick out of it, we were talking about it. But then every time they would show like close-ups of your face at the World Series,
all you're looking at is my hair.
100%.
Yeah,
just looking.
Do you out yourself about stuff like that? Because like if I say it, they can't get me. Because I kind of do that. Like if you say it, they can't attack you with it because you're owning it.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, people will say they'll make fun of the size of my forehead on Twitter.
Oh, I don't get that too much.
Yeah, right. It's like, but I'm sure they're perfect out there tweeting all that stuff. But I'm like, you think this is bad now? Had I not gone through 8 rounds of torture, it'd be the ugliest fucking head you've ever seen on television in high definition staring at you.
Yeah.
Do you like what you see when you watch yourself back, or are you like, ugh?
I'm in the middle.
Okay.
I'm not always ugh, but if right outfit, right coloring, good makeup, a nice hair job, I'm passable. I feel all right.
Yeah, you're not the type though that goes in and goes, no makeup. This is I want to go natural.
Aikman does that. Your boy Aikman does.
He does
that.
no makeup.
He hates it, and so then he shows up and he's oily and glistening, and they're like, please put makeup on, and he just can't stand it. I don't like it either.
No, what does he say? No, fucking 52 to 17. I'm not putting makeup on, shithead.
Right. Yeah.
By the way,
much.
Joe's book, excuse me, Lucky Bastard. It is out. Is it out today? Tuesday.
Today's the day. D-Day.
And Joe's also tomorrow night going to be in conversation. A great place with Michael K. The 92Y. 92y.org for tickets. He also has book signings, which are on the last page of his bio, so I guess we have to find out where they are.
On Thursday at the Yogi Berra Museum.
92nd Street Y, by the way. Sorry, Sam.
Yeah. In Little Falls, New Jersey. Sold out on November 21st in St. Louis. On November 23rd, you're going to be in Grapevine, Texas with Troy Aikman.
Yeah, I'm just calling in people that I think will draw a crowd. And by the way, Joe's here with his book. So I've got John Hamm in St. Louis. I've got Aikman in Dallas. And I figure, hey, they're going to come to see those people, and maybe they'll buy a book while they're there.
That's great. That's a great idea.
That's the thing that I found like so interesting about you is that, and I guess it's the right way to live, is that publicly, like in terms of like the masses, you have the insecurities that you deal with, right? Where they're criticizing you and everything. But in your life where you have friends that are one-on-one, like the friends that you have are the people that literally everybody would want to be friends with. John Hamm and Paul Rudd and Eddie Vedder. And like these guys are your friends. So you're sitting there and people admire all those guys, but they're not sitting there going, well, if those guys think he's cool, then he must be cool, right?
Right. But I'm not going to go, maybe that's why I wrote the book.
to let everybody know who your famous
friends are.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, Kate Hudson likes me. Why don't you?
Yeah.
Eddie Vedder likes me. Why don't you?
Well, did he accuse you of being a biased? My manager is a Cubs fan. Eddie's a Cubs fan. He didn't accuse you of it.
Because Eddie Vedder's not a dick.
That's a good point.
You think Jonathan Branstein's a dick?
Yeah, I think he's a dick. And for the rest of time, whenever I'm doing a Cubs game, I'm going to think of Jonathan's little smug ass face every time I'm doing a call and give it a little extra.
Yeah, make fun of the ivy, like shitty weeds
and
on
his
the
wife, and his placating wife, who's going, "You're right, honey. He doesn't like the Cubs."
Well, she
You're
was.
right.
In fairness, though, she was trying to keep him from throwing herself off the balcony. She was just trying to prevent a suicide.
No,
So she was doing her duties.
That's fair. I get it.
But it is weird when you're watching a thing. You put so much into your team. I did a gig with Brett Butler in '97, and I saw her recently. I hadn't seen her since, and she goes, "Are you still a big Yankees fan?" And I had forgotten that that was a Cleveland Indians.
Yeah.
They had lost in the ALCS or the division series to the Indians, and I was going so fucking crazy at Caroline's, and I was so miserable that she remembered that almost 20 years later that I couldn't handle the Yankees losing in a series.
Sports has a really powerful place in people's lives. And so when you're there and you're the voice calling one team's winning, they're all good. They don't care. The team that loses wants to kill the person screaming and yelling for the other team. That's just the life I live.
I think there's also a thing where, like, most people who watch sports aren't looking on the field and thinking, I could be that guy. You know what I mean? Like, like they don't think I could be a professional athlete. Maybe a couple of people who were good in high school, but I think a lot of people watch thinking that they could have your job.
No doubt. And I would love to gather them all up and have them sit down one by one and go. Here's my Twitter. Go.
Yeah.
And it's just, you don't just walk in and do the game. That said, I think a lot of them probably could eventually figure it out. It's not like disarming a nuclear weapon.
It's hard. It's not that easy to do because you don't know when do you talk, when do you not talk. It's not an easy thing to do. Like especially if it's football, I think is harder because it's constant movement. So it's like with baseball, you have a second, but it's still not easy to know.
But that's the part that freaks some people out. If you see action, at least you can call action. But now, okay, nothing's happening. What are you going to say? And that's why when young people send me their tapes, they're like, hey, I want to get into broadcasting. Here's my highlight reel. If I'm hiring, I don't care how you call the home run. I want to know what you're doing on foul balls and on ball 3 and talking about the giveaway night and all that. That to me is where you earn your money, not on the highlights. Anybody can scream and yell.
What's the worst sports loss you've ever taken?
Like
just watching.
Gambling?
Like no. Oh, do you gamble or no?
No, I don't. I don't think of my father's son, but
is he a big gambler?
Yeah. That kept him alive. I think the last 5 years of his life, and not to win a bunch of money. I think he just liked figuring out who he thought was going to win.
But did you ever lose a lot of money? Because gamblers are hard to live with.
Yeah, he was like a craps guy. He was a Depression era kid, never had money, was dirt poor, and then once he had a little bit of money, we would go to L.A. I was 10, and we'd go to Vegas on the way home. I'd play Donkey Kong all night, and he'd roll craps, and he'd meet me in the room at 7 a.m. and back to St. Louis we'd go.
So what kind of would you know when he had a good night or a bad night?
Oh yeah.
And were there ever nights where you left for let's just go? There's nothing
Oh,
left.
He was pissed.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember one time he'd wad of hundreds. And I've never seen him happier. And then another time it was like, well, we worked for free this week, Buck. Don't tell your mother. And then back home we went.
Was it ever in danger of losing the home or anything like that? Oh, never that bad.
He didn't have a problem.
Okay.
No.
He just liked to gamble. What was it about his lifestyle that made you follow? Like what made you be like
happy? I mean, even by the end of his life, he had Parkinson's and diabetes, and he had a pacemaker, but he was shaking, but he could not wait to get down to the ballpark to do a game. And when you see that as a kid, man, sign me up. I saw other people's parents were not that happy.
Was he insecure?
No, but he didn't deal with all this stuff.
He
and he
didn't
was
have
in
the
World War
feedback.
II, and he was injured in Germany, and he was a Purple Heart recipient. I think once you go through all that, it's like, fuck it. What's the worst that can happen?
What do you find yourself struggling with more when you're calling a game? Like, are you sitting there trying to prove to people that you're a good commentator,
No, I
or
swear
trying
to God, other than we don't have to play the clip, but other than that call, even with the heightened craziness of Cubs Indians, once the game starts, that I don't think about any of that stuff.
You just think about what you're doing.
I just do the game, and none of that stuff bothers me. But it's the downtime in between games. I'm like, yeah, screw you.
Right.
That kind of stuff.
Do you have guys throwing stats at you constantly? Because it's like
I hate stats.
You do.
And if I'm relying on stats as opposed to my eyes or being observant of what's actually happening or who's in the bullpen, who's left, what could happen. If I'm just reading numbers, that's boring to me.
And you're doing it 20 years, so how has it changed? Because we talk about political correctness and the way TV is so uptight. And
It's
a lot of guys,
unbelievable.
it's so hard to not, so many guys in the sports world, because sports guys talk a certain way, get in trouble for like a comment that would be okay in the locker room that's not even.
It's unreal. And I saw it from my dad. I talk about that a little bit in the book. My dad made jokes or made light of situations that if you did that now, you wouldn't last till the end of the inning. They'd come in and like send you to Guantanamo Bay for saying some of the stuff that he got away with, and it was just kind of laughed off. Now, does that make it right? I'm not saying it's right, but the business has changed to the point where when you're doing a game for 40 million people in Game 7 of a World Series, and you want to be funny or you want to be cute or you want to talk about the supermoon or whatever, you better be A, right, and B, if you're funny, you better be boring funny, right? Because you're going to piss a lot of people off in today's world.
That's
It's
a great
not
point.
worth it. It's not
40
worth
million people listening at the same time. No matter what joke you make, someone's going to be bothered.
People are tuning into you. They know what they're going to get, right? And they like what you guys do. They're stuck with me doing the game, and they could be in a nursing home, they could be at a frat party, but it's still my voice. And if you want to start going into areas that are off the beaten path, you better be really careful.
But that's part of it too. I think, especially in the last few years, anyway, is that maybe the NFL more than baseball, but baseball too. They're trying to open these sports up to as many conceivable eyes as possible. So you're not just going out to the typical football fan, the typical baseball fan. They're trying to get families. They're trying to get all these people.
No doubt.
So you better make sure that you line up with that.
Yeah. You're always trying to get new people under the tent watching this stuff. And, that's, to me, it's also hurt the NFL with these international games and starting games at 8 a.m. in London, and people aren't seeing them. And it's hurt ratings. I think that's one of the issues. Everybody's talking, why are the NFL ratings down? That's a part of it. But again, it's made everybody boring. It's made everybody go right down the middle lane, and every announcer sounds like everybody else. And it's too bad, because the real personalities, the Harry Careys and guys like that, are long gone, and that act wouldn't work anymore.
Yeah, Madden and Summerall were always fun to listen to. It's like you kind of look forward to them. You always liked when they were calling your team's game.
No doubt.
I don't know why I wonder if the ratings have dropped because of stuff like Red Zone, where there's not as much of a press to watch the game because you can just go click the highlights real quick.
And maybe. And a lot of that's fantasy football. You don't really care who wins the game.
Right.
Is my tight end in that game? If he's not, I got the tight end for the Jaguars. I'm going to watch that, on Red Zone or whatever. And maybe that's taken away some, while I think it's also added a lot, because the average fan knows a hell of a lot more about the sports we're doing than they ever did. And that's a part of it.
When you have when the world comes down on you the couple times that it has, either for the Randy Moss thing or for the Bachelor
What
thing
was the
or
Randy
whatever.
Moss thing?
Well, he made a call. Randy Moss did like a mock mooning of the crowd after he scored, and
in Green Bay.
Yeah. And Joe said it was, I believe,
disgusting.
Yeah, that is disgusting.
That is disgusting.
And everybody was like, "Tell him to get his fucking head out of his ass. He's so buttoned up. He's so, you know what I mean."
So that fed the idea that I'm this
nerd who can't
nerdy prude play-by-play guy, which whatever.
Did you feel it was disgusting what he did, or the fact that just enough with these guys doing this nonsense?
It hit me. I've done games where Terrell Owens grabbed the pom-poms, and that stuff's funny. I thought to paying fans in a playoff game to go to the fans, turn your backside to them and fake shimmying your pants down, then go to the goalpost and kind of do the same thing. I was like, come on. I think you need to be better than that. Randy and I are great. I saw him last night, took a picture with him and put it on Twitter. Like we're taking this act on the road. But, I got a lot of crap for that. And
it's still your number one most viewed YouTube thing.
Thank God.
I did a search for it, and that's number one.
Yeah. So there it is right there.
It's funny.
Taking our act on the road.
But so the other thing that they came down on you for was saying that you're just as likely to watch The Bachelor as you are a baseball game.
Yeah, and that's true. That's true today.
But Mike, I think Skip Bayless was like going nuts on you after that one. Wasn't he like calling for your job and stuff? Yeah. And when you have people who are fellow like broadcasters, do you not, like, for instance, comedians don't really trash other comedians because it's like
unless there's a good reason to, yeah.
Right, there's kind of a bit of a brotherhood. So when you're watching Skip Bayless, are you like, what do you, Skip? Like, what the fuck is your problem?
I don't care what he said then or now.
Yeah.
And some of that stuff is just sensational. I'm going to take a crazy... I'm going to call for this guy's job. I mean, it went no.
Was he joking when he said it, or did he really mean it?
No, he's like, this is Jack Buck's son, and he says my point was, it was Colin Cowherd asked me, and he said, are you watching games every night and going to bed and watching the West Coast games? And I was like, I have a wife, I have daughters, I'm watching The Bachelor, I'm cooking dinner. I read and I'm up on what I need to be up on, but I have a life. I'm not a sports nerd. That's
right.
And nothing against it, but that's just I feel like there's more to life than just
one
following
thing.
Sports.
Yeah.
And he got mad at you and thought you should be fired for what? For what?
I mean, there was all. It
because
became
I didn't
outrageous
watch games every night.
Yeah.
Why does Skip care?
Who cares?
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't matter. But here's the funny part of that. I care less about what he or somebody like him would think of me than I do the random guy on Twitter.
Really?
Probably, yeah.
Because he's probably sensationalizing. He's
or awful announcing, does something that's just clickbait. It's just, I don't care about that stuff. But it's the random guy that has a clever thing that's like, that got me.
Well, because that guy is not confirming something that you feel deep down. Some asshole saying you should be fired, you're like, oh, shut up. But someone going, you stink. It's like, oh God, they know.
Yeah, yeah. I've been found out. That's how I started. My first World Series, I was 27, thinking, I'm at Yankee Stadium doing the Yankees and Braves going on. I hope to God I don't get exposed as a fraud over the next X number of games. And thankfully I didn't. And I've done 18 more since. But
that was your first one, 96?
96.
Wow. Have you gotten over that feeling?
Yeah.
That's gone.
I'm not nervous I know I can handle whatever's going to come my way.
So you don't have the thing of like, oh, well, if the people in charge read these tweets, they're going to find out I'm terrible and they're going to...
No,
that doesn't sink in at all.
No,
that's good.
I don't think
that's
so.
That's healthy. It shouldn't.
Yeah,
but
yeah, and I think there's a place for all that stuff, but that can't be, and anybody in a position of power that's doing hiring at Fox is not being swayed by Twitter.
Right.
It's too big of a gamble. It's too, the money they have invested in the NFL, let alone in our booth, with Troy and me, and financially what they. That's not swayed by Twitter.
Plus, you could just have John Hamm write a letter of recommendation.
Right.
And he's got clout.
Correct.
You know what I mean? So you're good.
Vedder could do a
Vedder
song.
could do it.
Yeah. Paul Rudd could do a romantic comedy.
What did you think?
Tina Fey.
Did you hear Eddie Vedder's Cubs song?
I didn't hear it, no. I did not. But I spent the entire, here's name dropping.
Mm-hmm. Tell me.
I spent the entire postseason for your buddy's Cubs going across the street to Murphy's bleachers and going up to the rooftop and just hanging with Vedder and singing karaoke with him until 4:30 in the morning.
Was he good at karaoke?
No. No, it was great. And I was doing lead-ins to songs, and he's playing underneath me. It was just, it was
fun
awesome.
Life.
Travis, would you have been bored hanging out there?
No. Oh, he's a big Eddie. I forgot.
Our producer, Travis, is the biggest Pearl
Jam fan.
fan.
And he's wearing a Pearl Jam sweatshirt.
From Fenway.
Yes, normally it's the necklace he has.
I can tell you honestly.
Pearl.
I can tell you honestly, Eddie Vedder is the nicest human being to anybody. I've seen it. Anybody that he comes in contact with, he's like, it's almost not real.
Makes
He's
me
that
so
nice.
happy.
You want to meet him?
No.
You prefer not to, right?
No, you wouldn't be let down. I promise. He's a
That's
good,
amazing.
good guy.
Well, everybody pick up the book. It's called Lucky Bastard. There's a ton of
out today.
It's out today. There's a ton of really great stories in there. It's not just I mean, it's. I feel like
not
it's
a sports book.
It's you finally getting
Right.
to like let this out there, right?
Yeah.
Like say this is who I am. You can stop just creating this thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I said to the publisher, I'm sorry, but if this sells one copy or 1 million, I'm still going to feel good because at least it's out there.
Right.
So it's cathartic.
And tomorrow night, Joe, is at the 92nd Street Y, which is an amazing place to see people.
That's where we saw Gene
Wilder. I went with Sherrod to see Sidney Poitier speak
amazing.
there.
The best.
Yeah.
The best.
Yeah, he was he was a very calm, quiet guy to watch talk, but it was just nice to be in the room with him.
Well, didn't they videoed that? Didn't I see that with?
I don't know.
He did a thing with Mel Brooks.
It wasn't with Mel Brooks.
Okay, then this was a different
some woman
event.
interviewed him. Yeah. And 92y.org if you want some tickets. There's a few tickets they probably released. They always do that for the ticket holders at monthlies that can't make it. And also go to some book signings, which are Sam,
Exciting.
Yeah, the book signings
Some really
are.
good ones.
I'm going to let people feel my hair plugs. Sign a book. Run your fingers through this
Or
hair.
how about you pull one out and you give it as a bookmark?
Yeah, that'd be nice. Now I've spent way too much money on these to give them away.
Thursday at the Yogi Berra Museum in Little Falls, New Jersey. November 23rd at Books A Million in Grapevine, Texas with Troy Aikman. And on December 5th in Beverly Hills at the Beverly Hills Library with Rich Eisen.
Ta-ta.
Yeah.
And we have coming up, we got Dennis Quaid next, and I'll be in Fort Lauderdale this Friday and Saturday at the Improv. We'll be right back, I
And
guess.
if you're tall and you meet Joe, look at him in the eyes because he knows when you're staring at his hair plugs.
I know it.
You know, he can tell.
It's a little bell that goes off in my head.
Thank you so much,
Thanks,
Joe.
man.
All right, guys. Thanks.
Time to get rocking and rolling.
Why are you wearing the hat?
So when Dennis Quaid comes in, I just see we could do a movie together.
Why would you're wearing a wool hat that's pinched up at the top?
It's acrylic.
Acrylic?
Piece of garbage. I hate wool. Funny story. I went to buy a hat. It was $5. And I was making sure it wasn't wool because it itches my fart. I have very delicate skin.
You do? I didn't know.
Yes, I do.
I didn't know.
I'm very itchy. I'm an itchy person with the wrong sheets. I hate how sensitive my skin is.
Yeah. Wow, you're high maintenance, as they say.
No, but I also, that's why I have pretty good skin. Sensitive and good skin, maybe.
It's not good. You can't even wear hats. How's it good?
Meaning it's
shit.
No, I have very
It stops
soft
you
skin.
from everything.
Yeah, well, for you. But if a girl's rubbing my back and they always go, oh, you have nice skin. Finger right in.
Oh, we're waiting Dennis Quaid.
Yeah, he's in traffic.
He's in traffic. I guess he had trouble getting an Uber, like some people. Is that right?
I don't know.
A little something in common.
I don't know if
with Dennis Quaid. I want to ask him about this movie that I totally forgot he was in it.
Bill.
It's not Bill.
I want to ask him about Bill.
Well, then you can. But I was going to ask him.
What movie?
About
The Big Easy.
No.
What?
It's called Everybody's All American. And it's him and Jessica Lange. It's from like the 80s.
Oh.
And he plays this football player. And then he becomes a college football player. And his life is great in high school and college. And then he goes to the NFL and he's only okay. And it's just about how life just kicks the shit out of you. It's not a happy movie.
All right.
But it's I enjoyed it. It's from 1988. It's a weird movie. But I watched the whole thing. It's on like HBO Go.
Does Jessica Lange play his love interest?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
98, 08. Yeah,
88.
Wow, 88, 98. Oh, no, I'm just doing the math on how long ago. That's 28 years ago.
But I watched it. When I watched it like probably a month ago. And I was like, oh, I'll consider this the prequel to Any Given Sunday. Because on Any Given Sunday, he's the aged quarterback. Willie Beeman comes in and takes his place.
Willie Beeman.
You know what the ladies do.
Wow, he looks young there. He plays a good young guy.
Yeah. He beat this black guy in a foot race.
Yeah, that's unbelievable.
Because they thought that they were like, oh, you got this because you're white, you know, and there's segregation. And he's like, no.
Is Jessica Lange playing a high school girl?
She was at one point.
In 88?
Yes.
What are they, fucking high? She was 40.
It was an odd movie. Odd choices were
How
made.
old is she?
She was born in 1949.
49. So how old was she in 88? She was 39 years old playing a high school student?
Depending on when it was. If it was later in. If it was, yeah.
She did the Poosman only
She did the what?
The postman only rings. What's it called? The postman always calls twice.
I don't know.
The postman always calls twice.
Yeah. Yeah, she played a high school girl. But she aged throughout the film. They aged her down with costume.
Did they start her at 39?
No. No, they didn't
What
start
the
her.
fuck is that?
She started as a high school girl, and then she goes, through her life. They followed the...
Yeah, as a high school girl, do they show her just running away, waving from a distance? Only that was her only high school girl?
They show the couple through the decades.
Why don't they stop it?
It travels through many years.
Only, you know what? When CGI, was that Timothy Hutton?
Maybe, I don't know.
Well, let's find out. Timothy Hutton, yeah. I was in high school voted most likely to spot Timothy Hutton at a glance.
Well, who would have thought that those things were right?
They were. Well, more Seinfeld trivia? Throw one more at me. Bing.
Okay. George Costanza bought the car from which celebrity?
That's right. He bought it from Bob Apodaca, Mets pitcher.
That's right. That's 100% right. And speaking of the Mets, it was Timothy Hutton. You were 100% right. Which Met spit on, who was it? Kramer? It's Kramer, right? Who got spit on?
Yeah, Kramer and Newman.
Ray Rice.
That's correct. That's correct.
Hold on, I'm watching these two high school kids kiss.
Yeah, they're just a couple.
Exactly. They both have grown children.
Wanted, and every man wanted to be.
First round draft pick. I guess that means the Redskins. I'm special just as long as I keep making touchdowns.
Yeah, everybody's All-American.
Big leagues, golden boy.
The ghost has got debts.
I'm still playing football, ain't I?
For how many
boy,
years,
that's hot.
Gavin won?
She's changing a diaper of an infant.
If you're the one making a living.
But the living has to be made, Mr. Blue, one way or another.
She in high school there too, in her mid-50s?
No, she wasn't in high school in that shot.
Tell me, Babs. I didn't ask
Babs?
to be the great ghost. I'm just Gavin.
Oh, Gavin, I love you.
But the whole movie, Jessica Lange wants to fuck this little nerdy guy who's the quarterback's best friend.
Don't tell me the end. I'm going to watch it.
You are going to watch it?
I'll watch it, yeah.
Everybody's All-American?
Yeah.
You would probably like this movie. It's one of those weird, slow-moving 80s movies that, the soundtrack everything is very 80s about it.
I like that.
And it's not but it's not this happy ending. It's not this sad ending. It's just, it just exists.
Yeah. It's
Which
like Take My Breath Away is a really good song.
From Top Gun?
Yes.
That's not a good song.
It's a great song. Sure it is.
You mean the one that goes like, take my breath away?
It's the only one, yeah.
That's not a good song
It's
at
an
all.
excellent song. It was voted one of the worst songs. It's a great song.
You were pissed that it was voted one, but you also
I was pissed. I just thought it was silly.
You also like Rick Astley's newest hit.
I do. I have great taste in music. Yeah. You like this?
No, of course not.
Travis?
No.
You guys are queers.
Nobody likes this.
That's what we are.
Huh? It's a wonderful song.
By the way, this dickhead who talks about Black Sabbath and Kiss all the time was listening to Sean Paul as the plane landed in Los Angeles.
Sean Paul very much.
He's like, you don't like this? And he's just dancing in his seat with his headphones in. Not ironically, by the way.
Sean Paul's great.
It's like the worst shuffle iPod.
Horrible.
I have a very good shuffle iPod.
This into Sean Paul, into Rick Astley.
Yeah,
sure.
Into War Pigs.
Why not? You don't like this, Adrian?
I like it.
I'll accept if I'm in the minority here.
No, I like it.
All right, 2-2.
No.
The two men like it, and the two twinks are like, tee-hee, no.
Terrible. D-Bag, he's coming down the hall?
Cool.
That's exciting.
All right, let's get him in here.
That's exciting. You throw up a little when you saw him?
Yeah.
I know it's tough for you sometimes.
Yeah. Little bonnet.
Hey, come right into the studio. Come right into the studio.
A little bib on
He does.
Sweetie.
He does. Let's welcome in. I think he's coming up. Oh, that was just some chick. Yes.
Oh, it's actually...
Dennis Quaid.
Hello.
Welcome to the show.
Hello, sir.
Sit down.
Yeah.
Good to see you, man.
Sam.
Good to see you. How's everything going?
It's a rainy day out there, is it
is.
not?
It is. It's terrible.
You got caught in traffic?
But not in my heart.
Good.
It's been bad around here, too, because Trump's, he's on 59th, I think, so this whole Midtown area has been kind of awful.
They were showing in the paper, they've literally, when he's in town now, they have to shut down the entire block for security.
Yeah, it's gridlocked.
It's ridiculous.
It's bad.
Well,
So welcome to New York.
thank you very much.
Are you you're LA based, I would assume?
Yes, I lived here in the pre-AIDS 80s. Yeah.
Was it a little bit-
81 to 85.
Was AIDS what chased you out of here? As soon as AIDS popped up?
And you're surprised it popped up in LA
that
too?
was
You're like, oh,
everywhere.
shit.
But it was a lot of fun before then.
I would imagine. How much has the industry changed? Because you've seen a couple of different eras now. Is it still a good time? Like when you look at the young people coming in now, are you like, you guys don't know what fun is?
Well, what is going on in television right now is very exciting.
Because there's good stuff being made.
Yes.
Yes.
It's where independent films have gone.
Mhm.
And it reminds me of what was going on in movies back in the 70s, where you felt like the inmates had taken over the asylum. And you didn't know what was going to happen.
Well, didn't a lot of guys, like, it was always frowned on for like really major film actors to go to TV. And now De Niro just signed on. I mean, they say he's getting like 850,000 episodes to do this Amazon series. And there's a bunch of like legit guys like yourself, you're doing something like that probably 10 years ago never would have done a TV series.
Oh, absolutely. Well, the subject matter, and it started with the writers, and of course, the directors were coming in, and the actors, of course, followed. And the studios, they're making what they used to make 40 films each a year. Now they're maybe making 8 to 12, and they have to be $200 million out of a comic book.
Yeah.
And so this is the place to be.
Yeah. And you've done the big movie. You did the G.I. Joe movie, right?
Yes.
So you've been in that world.
Day After Tomorrow.
Yeah.
I don't mind being in that world. It's fun,
Right.
in the right piece. But it's just the subject matter and everything that's around, and it's great. It's a great
Let's
time.
talk about Bill for a second. I want to ask you about Bill. How was Mickey Rooney on the set?
I've
heard mixed reviews about him, which is why I'm asking.
He was fantastic. I mean, he was a legend for God's sakes, and we were like together like every day. He was a very old school movie star. That's the way he lived his life.
Where do you want it to hang out, like off the set or just on the set?
No, he went home. In fact, he was actually doing a musical at the time at night. He was shooting during the day and doing a musical at night.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, I've heard that he's a yeller and stuff like that, and then you
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, but that's just his normal voice.
Oh,
yeah. You just
Is he like
accept
from
that's
Yonkers or something? That's what you learn to do.
That's just the volume he speaks at, and then we go from there. You know what movie we were talking about before you came in? And I wasn't even, I for some reason, this movie, I watched it probably twice in a row all the way through. Because I don't know, it hit me for some reason like a month ago. I'd never heard of it. And then I watched it, and it was Everybody's All-American.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember that movie?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
I mean, it was just, there was something about that movie that they don't make movies like that anymore, where it was kind of, I was telling Jim, there was no like super happy ending. There wasn't this tragic, sad ending. It was just a movie about how life kicks the shit out of you sometimes, and you just press on.
Right.
And they don't do that anymore. Like, you don't really see that anymore.
One of those kind of ambiguous endings.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody's always looking for the ending. But I think that was a novel before it was a film.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's a really good story of athletes about what happens after.
Because you're this big star, right? Like college football, go to the NFL, this big thing, and then before you're 40, and this goes for any athlete, you're done. And then there's the whole other half of your life that you got to figure out.
Yeah, what do? You've been in the locker room since you were maybe 9 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got hit with a pitch when I was 11, and that ended my baseball career. I wanted to be a big star.
Maybe a lucky thing for you. You never
was.
know.
Yes, hit me in the face.
Did you question when you were doing that movie how the directors, producers, whoever they were going to make you and Jessica Lange into like high school, college students and then travel through the ages? You know what I mean?
Of course. I was playing high school students. I was about 28. So
yeah, she was 39, right at the time. We just looked her up on IMDb.
Was she?
Playing a high school student.
Yeah.
Oh, she was great. She was really fantastic. They gel the camera a little bit, make it smoky in there.
Is that how they do it?
With
CGI in a few years, though, that'll be like they won't have to age with makeup, and they'll be able to do that like perfectly.
Well, they had to do CGI because now everything's HD, so you can't really gel the camera over anymore, right?
Right. Right. You want that grain in there.
Yeah, it's helpful.
How was it playing Bill Clinton?
That was quite a time.
Oh, it's a good.
It was good.
You guys both, because I don't know, like, have you heard? I don't know if you know Jim Norton from outside the show, but he does Bill Clinton as well.
I don't know.
And he doesn't like to be put on the spot, but it's like,
oh, really? You want to do Dueling Bills?
You don't sound like me.
Oh, well, that's the grumpy Bill, I guess.
Yeah, that's a little aggressive. That's that's a shot.
You don't do me well.
Can I get some help over here?
He seemed like
clean up on aisle 5.
He seemed like sometimes he'd be more even keeled, or no?
No, he probably is. Where's the cigars?
Jim's bill also usually goes back to one common incident. Kind of focuses. That's one part of Bill's career and life.
Yeah. So do you feel when you do somebody that famous, it's hard? It's like guys who play Nixon. It's like one of those things that everyone knows what they sound like. So you do Clinton, like, and do you want to do him? Just how did you want to portray him?
It was conversational. You know, it was a piece called a Special Relationship we did for HBO, and it was about his relationship with Tony Blair, and so you don't want to do like an impersonation,
right?
Yeah.
And Tony Blair was Martin Sheen.
Yes. So I mean, you know, I didn't do any kind of like makeup that was going to radically change my face, other than hair color.
So you didn't. You just kind of played the guy. Maybe do the voice a little bit, but it's hard to do unless you're an impressionist. It's hard to do a perfect.
Yeah, that is like an impression. I don't know. I don't know where that line is. You just kind of get up there and you just do the scene, basically.
You don't shout the line.
You learn it and you forget it.
You don't just
you don't think about it.
Shout the line and try to mention pop culture references.
I do a good job with that.
That is an approach.
It is, right?
Say, yes.
I do a great Bill. People have been telling me I do it all the time. They go crazy for it.
They did. I got a call the other day. Like, did you have Bill Clinton in studio with you? And I was, no, it's Jim.
I don't have to do pop culture stuff. You're eating a bagel.
Oh wow,
that's pretty good, right?
It's Bill Clinton doing breakfast commentary.
Absolutely. Bill just yells.
It's very.
He's hard of hearing.
That's very, very good.
You you were open to. I like the fact you were open about the fact that you had a cocaine addiction, and you talked about all that stuff, and didn't hide it, which was kind of nice.
I came out of the '70s and the '80s. It was kind of in the budget of most films back then, to tell you the truth. I had a white light experience when I was 36. I saw myself maybe, dead or losing everything by the time I was in 5 years. And so I did my 28 days and that was it.
Yeah, do you say, because back then you could do stuff. You could just bring Coke or whatever on the set, and there was no social media. There was no one to snitch and go tell TMZ. There was just like a different way to do it where everybody wouldn't find out immediately.
Yeah, it's because everybody was doing it.
It was what you did, right?
Yeah, right.
Like, it wasn't newsworthy because it was like, yeah, you can't. You're wearing shoes too. Like, it wasn't anything.
But it's you go through different things in life, and it was one of them.
And your show, by the way, we got to be promoting. It's called The Art of More. It's season 2 is going to be released on Crackle tomorrow.
Yes.
So the entire season comes out at the same time.
Yes, all 10 episodes come out tomorrow, and it's free. That's the great thing about Crackle is it's that free, and you don't need a subscription and all this big, huge sign-up thing. You can Google Crackle on any device, and you can go right to it and start watching it on any device.
Do you like that they're all coming out at the same time? Amazon, Netflix kind of started that where here's the whole season, and I think it gets them a lot more interested in the show.
Yeah, it's a binge watching, what we call it, I guess, right? And it just being able to watch something over a long period of time, I love doing that because once I get committed and into a show, I really don't like waiting around. I want to see it right then.
Isn't it weird too? Usually you saw something once on TV years ago and you just didn't see it again until they showed it again. It could be 10 years before you saw it the second time.
Like the rerun 6 months later, right?
Yeah. It killed the rerun industry. Like, you can't do really reruns anymore because it's either on demand or whatever. Everybody's got access to it. There is no value to playing the episode again.
Yeah.
When you get what you were talking about, making content and stuff. When this comes your way, at first, the show, The Art of More, do you just look at the script and go, I like the script, I'm going to do it? Or do you go, what's Crackle? I don't understand. I don't know if I should be involved in an internet thing before you know. Like, is that part of the decision making?
Well, there's certain questions to be answered, but really the main thing is they sent me the script. I read the script. I get involved in it. Yeah. I really like the character. That's the first thing. Is it a good story? Plus, they also, besides the first script, they also had the entire season mapped out about what the story was going to be of the characters and the so there was an arc there, which I really liked. And I just had a foray into television on CBS with Vegas, and it just turned out to be a procedural. Despite all the talk of what it was going to be, it was a procedural, and which I wasn't really interested in, and so then also like Crackle being a part of this really kind of new platform. I mean, certainly Netflix and Amazon and those venues are around, but Crackle being free and the way being able to so easily access it was very appealing to me, to sort of build a network along with building a show.
Yeah. And it's the same place that Seinfeld does his show on, so it's not like it's this, they don't have anything. They got a lot of stuff going on.
Right. But we were their first 1 hour drama, and so that was...
It's a big deal.
I feel like this. Yeah.
You have a pilot's license, too. I'm pretty fascinated by guys who decide to do that. It's very scary.
What, to fly?
Yeah.
Yeah, fly. Well, I was really afraid to fly when I first started, but I got the right stuff. It was what got me. I was going to play an astronaut, one of the first, and they all flew, so I figured...
You should learn how to do it.
Yeah, I should learn how to do it.
Well, you like a real method actor?
Well, I just like the research of it. Going on all those doors to say authorized personnel only, and sort of like getting to live all these kind of lives, or getting a real taste of it. And it's been very exciting for me.
So you can fly a Cessna, and you own a plane.
I can fly citation jets all the way up to that.
What's citation jet mean?
It's a jet. It's got 2 inboard engines on it. Seats about 8.
Can you fly in the fog?
Yeah. Okay. Instrument rated.
No, you got me instrument rated.
Yes, I am instrument rated. Yes.
They said that was JFK Jr.'s problem because he wasn't instrument rated.
I get it. I actually flew the night before up there in Long Island.
Wow.
They were calling it VFR, which is Visual Flight Rules, but you could look down and you could see the fog on the ground and see the lights coming up from it. But if you got out over the sound, it was an inkwell. You're black. It's just black out there, and it messes with your inner ear.
So do you start like when you're flying like that? If something's happening to the plane, can you not always tell that you're headed down?
No, you can't. In fact, you have a little airplane right in front of you that tells you if you're tilting left or right or going up and down. And a lot of times, if you're not instrument rated and have a lot of experience at it, your brain is telling you that you're straight and level, and you believe it, even though the instrument says different.
So you have
the instrument is right.
Yeah, you have to focus on the instrument.
Yeah,
and realize your mind is telling you something kind of. Did you ever have any near misses when you were flying, or any?
Yeah, flying turns out to be hours and hours of complacency interrupted by little moments of extreme terror.
It's like STD result waiting. So you, what were some of the moments you've had flying? Because that's always what scares me. Is I don't trust myself enough to handle stuff.
Well, you just have to. Well, there's nobody around to handle it for you. Actually, the very first time you solo, it was like 12 hours going around the field landing, and my flight instructor, who was 73 years old at the time, he was 5 years younger than aviation itself. I figured, hey, this guy knows what he's doing. And he pops the door and goes, "Nice knowing you." And you take off. And you get around to midfield, and you're very busy and stuff, climbing, and then on the radio, and you do the radio, you're at midfield, and you look around the airplane, and there's nobody there. And it's on you. It's like those dreams you have of flying. It's incredible.
So if there's a problem, you know that you have to handle it. You have to fix it. That's what scares me.
Well,
I always want an adult to do things. I'm afraid I won't do it.
I won't do it right. I don't know how.
Yeah, I won't do a good job. My buddy Bill, he's a helicopter pilot. He just said the same thing you do. Like when you're going out the first time solo, you realize it all kind of. He said the concentration is amazing. Though, you're not thinking of your phone. You're not thinking of anything else.
That's what's wonderful about it. You don't think about anything else up there. It takes your mind off of everything else but what you're doing.
we got to wrap the show up.
Yeah, we're done. 11 o'clock is the end of our show. Oh, it's 11:02.
Yes, The Art of More Season 2 is going to be released on Crackle tomorrow. Do you have any relationship with your brother, Randy, or have you?
Yeah.
You do?
Yes, I do.
Oh, that's great.
Is he all right? Is he doing okay?
We spent 12 years in the same bedroom together.
Well, it's kind of like me and Sam.
I'm talking about 20 years ago. No, as kids. And I love my brother. He's one of my 5 favorite actors in the world.
Yeah.
And I want to see him come back.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
Do you think people misunderstand the type of person he is? Like sometimes people do a little off the wall things, and people are like, "That's who that guy is." They're like, "No, it's not. That's not who the person is."
Yeah, he's a great actor, and I think he still has another career in him. I do.
I bet he could.
Yeah.
He's well liked enough that he could absolutely make a
People love
comeback.
him.
Yeah.
Look, Roman Polanski is still directing. He can come back and act.
That's exactly right. Dennis Quaid, thank you so much, man.
Thank you.
It's great talking to you, and we'll be back here tomorrow.
Yes, tomorrow morning. Goodbye.
Goodbye.